Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of Pro Wrestling Talk. Alongside my co hosts, Miss Witchy Perfect over here. My two guests are down here. They're Dee and Greg. So, welcome. Thank you both for coming on tonight and reviewing WrestleMania and talking about all the other crap that went on in wrestling this week. So,
Let's
thank you
get
both.
into it.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Let's
Yeah.
get into it.
All right, so I'm gonna start with WrestleMania Night One. We're gonna go down the card real quick. I'm not gonna spend too much time on Night One because Night One sucked.
Yeah.
But in the first match, we had Rhea Ripley defending the women's world title against Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley went over. She pinned Lynch as she should have. It was a fine opener. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because it was okay. Becky is not really a good wrestler. She's more of a personality, I think. So
It was a showcase for Rhea Ripley.
yes, that's what it was, and that's
Got
exactly what it
a
needed to
live
be.
entrance and everything. That was her big moment. Get
Yeah.
Y'all need real fans, not casuals. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony, but thank you for joining us anyways.
I think he means AEW.
That's AEW fans. I mean, I wouldn't mind having an AEW fan on to debate, but so far no takers.
I mean,
So
I am an AEW fan. I'm just a very realistic AEW fan. You know what I mean? But yeah, it would be
y'all
fun
didn't
to
even know who Julia was. I know who Julia was.
Yeah, we know
What are you
Julia.
talking about?
She's over in WWE. She got a debut on
Yeah.
Stand and Deliver. She's probably the
Yeah,
best girl over there
I-
in Stardom.
I never seen her wrestle, but I know who she is.
Mm.
So what do you guys think of the Becky Lynch match? Did you like it?
Jim Cornette said it was okay. He really
was good
liked
for what it
Rhea
was.
Ripley, yeah, in
Like I said,
this.
Yeah, it was fine.
put Rhea Ripley over against the top star.
Yeah, they had no
Yeah.
issues whatsoever.
No,
Yeah.
they're not gonna.
Not
She's not
bad.
gonna drop those belts.
Not,
Mhm.
All right,
I don't
so
know.
that
It's
was
not her time.
Rhea
It's not
Ripley.
her time to drop the belt yet.
Not even close.
Yeah.
all right. In the second match, it was the six pack challenge, ladder match, tag team title match,
Yeah. Predictable. I
and
think we all called this one. on
yeah,
our
I mean they split the
show.
tag team titles. It was obvious when they first showed the tag team titles, they were both separate on separate hooks. I'm like, they're gonna split the tag team titles. I mean,
Oh,
they just
geez.
gave it away there,
I
and
wish they would just combine them and just have one set of tag team belts to float around both shows. I don't think they
Yeah.
have enough tag teams to support two different
yeah, I'm
divisions.
surprised they. I knew they would go in that direction, but I'm surprised that they did because they don't
Hopefully
have
they-
enough tag teams.
Hopefully they unite them eventually.
Yeah. And it was Judgment Day and Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, New Day, Awesome Truth, DIY, blah blah blah. So who won the SmackDown one? I forget.
Austin Theory and
Austin,
Grayson
yeah,
Waller.
Austin. Yep.
Waller. They won pretty early.
Oh.
Like, oh wow. And then the Raw ones were won by Awesome Truth. The match itself was just a spot fest, and
Yeah.
I counted at least 3 or 4 times where tag teams could have grabbed the tag team.
Oh,
Instead, they jumped off the ladder like
it was
80.
so
feet outside.
stupid. It was like they're prioritizing going through
Spots.
tables and ladders.
Yeah.
and,
Spots.
Like
They were
setting up
there.
the ladders and getting the
I think-
belts. It was silly.
I think it was DIY and New Catch Republic
yeah,
and New
like
Day.
they weren't even
They were all
trying to
there.
win.
They
They
were
weren't
right
trying
there
to win
instead.
at all.
Yeah. Instead, they all like jumped off the fucking ladder, went
They're
to a
just doing
table.
spots,
Yeah, for no reason.
which I mean looked
And
painful. So I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
it looked. It was like, oh wow, that's a good
some of them
spot.
looked really
but
painful. So I mean, I guess.
Well, and
But
I
I
hated
really-
that in the Attitude Era. They would do that all the time.
yeah,
You know, with those tag teams, the Hardy Boys,
yeah, that stuff
Dudley
was hot
Boys.
shotted 20 years ago. Now it
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
Right.
now it's just
Might as well just give them a suplex. They're both gonna kill.
Yeah, when I was watching, right, and when I was watching it, it's
what's
like,
that?
I mean, I enjoyed it, for what it was.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. It was just
eh,
it's stupid.
Everybody got their
watching guys
drinks.
do shit that might hurt them.
Oh yeah, I got mine down here. Just haven't touched it yet. All right, so that's that.
Gotta hydrate.
I don't know where Tony Banana's coming from. We didn't know who Julia was, but okay, I'm not gonna keep arguing with you.
I'm glad
The
he's
next
here,
match.
right?
Who?
I mean, like
Yeah.
Julia Hart.
No, it's
Julia,
No,
Girl from
okay.
Stardom.
Japanese wrestler. She just came
Oh.
over and signed with WWE. All right, and the next match was Rey Mysterio and I'm about to say Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. It was what it was. It was fine, but I joked around the internet that Rey Mysterio's never going to put over his son because he beat him twice at WrestleMania.
I know, right?
Okie dokie.
Dom's one of those heels that his win-loss record's not going to matter. He's always going to be able to get heat.
No, yeah, I agree, but I'm
And
just
I mean,
saying.
it's just a moment for them to show off. Like, all right, here's another one of your guys. Here's another
Yeah, I agree,
AEW guy
but
on WrestleMania.
But we
But I
all
mean-
at least
Dominic is very hated. Why would you not get him over?
I know I thought his dad would put him over this time around, but he didn't. Ray, he actually pinned. Who did he pin? I know he
Escobar?
got the pin. I think. Yeah, I think it was Escobar. At least he didn't beat his son again. But
I mean, the only thing I could think that Dominic didn't get like the W because maybe they was setting up for Damien, not to take the spotlight away from him.
that was night 2 though, so I don't think that would have affected that.
Yeah.
So I think Ray just doesn't want to put over his son. He's like his ego is getting in the way.
Not
there.
yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Next year.
Second generation there, Ray. You got to step out sometime.
Yeah, he said he would retire by the time he's 50.
I think that's why, because he knows once he does that, he's
Mass
probably
versus hair.
retired.
Interesting.
Probably not ready to retire yet.
Yeah,
an interesting concept. Mass versus hair.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
yeah, that's a good one. That's an interesting concept. I would
That's
probably.
what I thought. I thought they were going to do that, but
He could retire next year at WrestleMania and put over his son there, but it seems like I would have put him over this year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 1-1 and then have the third match at next year's WrestleMania or something, but nope, I guess not. All right, well, we'll get past that. The fourth match was probably the worst match on the card, night 1. Jey Uso versus Jimmy.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Those super kicks, I'm
I knew I
telling
wasn't
you.
going to like this just based off the tag.
Those super
match they
kicks
had
were
last year.
half-assed, and they looked
were
like they
awful.
were. Yeah, it looked like it was all choreographed.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just face it. I mean, yes, wrestling is kind of like a dance, but I mean,
Yeah.
boys, make it look real at least.
Or just
There's
stop doing
nothing
the
like
same
that.
dance move over and over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that super kick was half-assed.
Go away
it
and
looked
learn a
stupid.
new hold.
Exactly.
As Jim Ross
Exactly,
used to
Greg.
say.
It was just a
We're on the
super
same
kick.
wavelength.
It was a super kick exhibition, and
But
it was
everybody
awful.
knew. I mean, like nobody was surprised. That's all they do.
Yeah.
They're tag team wrestlers. They're not singles
Yeah.
wrestlers. They get exposed, especially Jimmy. Jimmy gets exposed when
Yeah,
he wrestles
Jimmy.
singles matches.
Yeah.
But that was
And-
the thing back in our era, guys, is that, I mean, even if they were tag team, like, for example, I'm going to say this, Bret Hart. I mean, Bret knew how to wrestle with Jim. Jim knew how to wrestle with Bret, Jim Neihart. But they both were really great at singles matches. So if you can't be like that, sorry, boys, you can't. That's the line.
They shouldn't be
okay?
Neither of them should be wrestling singles matches.
Stop
but
blowing
Jey
bars.
Uso is so over. But nobody likes Jey Uso's matches. You know what I mean? Have you ever
Yeah.
listened to people? They like
over.
he's got a lot of he's over as hell.
Everybody does this with him. He's
but
over.
It's just
but
like that's all that's over about him. Like nobody enjoys a Jey Uso singles match.
Jey Uso main event Jey Uso. I know they gave him that nickname, main event.
I mean, they're trying to push him as a single.
They're trying.
They wanted, the
thing with Bret
him.
started as a single, and then they made him a tag team. So Jay and Jimmy were always a tag team. So
In
they
Stampede,
never had.
yes.
They never had. Yeah, exactly. In Stampede, they never had that singles experience on their own for a long period of time. So I don't think they should ever be.
I mean,
not
I
a tag
agree.
team.
If Jey Uso wants to be a top guy, he needs to fix that super kick because
that wasn't Owen versus Brett.
No,
Much
that
as
was
they
awful.
tried to make it Owen versus Brett. That was
and
not
they did some
it.
crazy shit, but it looked good because they were both second generation. And isn't Jey Uso and Jimmy, aren't they both second generation?
Yeah, they were Rikishi's son.
They're
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they're one of
and
the
I think
Samoans kids.
and then there's Solo's big brothers too.
Yeah,
Solo?
he's one of
they're
brothers,
Solo
too.
big brothers. We'll get to
Right.
Solo on SmackDown, but that was interesting what he did there. But yeah, that was an awful match. I mean, that was just a super kick exhibition and
very
a
underrated.
splash
And they were
finish.
half-assed and they looked fake.
At least the right guy won. Jey Uso won.
Yeah.
But that was awful. Yeah. So the next match was the 6-woman tag. I always say man, but it's woman. Jade Cargill, Bianca, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Which, of course, it was a show off Jade Cargill, and she did her job, and they won.
Yeah, I don't have any.
She's got 3 moves.
3 moves. That's right.
If she does them well, she can be a star. Look at Goldberg. He had 3 or 4 moves.
Yeah, but it took him time. He really sucked in the beginning, and he was hurting guys. I would hate to see her hurt a bunch of ladies because she doesn't know what she's doing and she got 3 moves.
She should be able to do more. She's been hidden away.
She's been at
in the performance.
She's been at the
center
PC for a
now.
while, so she should be able to do more than 3.
be able to do more. So
I think what they're doing is they're slowly exposing her, and
Yeah.
eventually she'll start doing more
they don't want to
moves
show
once
any weakness at all.
Yeah, not right now.
Don't
And it
wanna
makes
show
sense.
any weakness at all.
You should
But they're being a
she
little
should
too
be
careful, I think. I think they're being a
it
little too
could be.
careful.
Yeah, I could if
Because
she
she
she's
used
ready
to
to
wrestle 10-minute matches in AEW, like on pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
she
did,
can
but
do it. If she has the right dance partner.
yeah. All right. So that match is that match, whatever. In the next match, Gunther defending the Intercontinental title against
This
Sami
pisses me
Zayn.
off.
This was a good match. I mean, over the match itself. Not talking about the finish. The match
Yeah.
itself was good,
Yeah, the match.
but the finish was. It was like it
Yeah,
was a
I was
total
waiting for you to
letdown.
say that, Angel.
I don't know why you beat Gunther.
Yeah, they beat him, and
There
I'm
are
like,
there's many different ways they could have got the belt off him.
Right. Well, and they were saying on the internet that they're going to elevate him, and I said, well, you guys realize they're also elevating Sami Zayn too, right?
And he's already had multiple moments.
For the exceptions of Rick Rude and Kurt Hennig, usually the IC belt means you get lifted up to the heavyweight belt. But now they got two of them, which I'm confused on what the fuck that's all about. But anyway, back in our day, it was the IC belt elevates you to the heavyweight belt.
Usually. Not always the case, but usually.
I don't know why they beat Gunther. Like, he was undefeated. Like, I don't know why. That's like such a big draw.
And he looked better. He was like the ultimate heel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good match. So Sammy sold his ass off and made Gunther like $1 million. And then all of a sudden he hits the top rope brainbuster, which looked brutal. At least
God. Yeah. I'm like, what? Was that botched?
I saw it from a different angle, and it looked a lot safer than it did from the angle they showed.
Okay, well, if that's how it's supposed to look,
he
good,
did it
but
right.
It looked like he botched it.
No, they did it right.
He did it right.
Okay.
And
Sammy Takeshita did it very wrong.
Sammy only busted out during big matches now. He doesn't do it every week, which is good because you don't want to bury
I don't
that.
think I've ever seen Sammy do that, but I haven't followed his career.
He did in Ring of Honor when he was El Generico.
That's what I read. But I had never
Sammy was a wild boy back when he was Generico or whatever he came from.
El Generico, he was he was in a white mask and mute. He wouldn't talk at all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and as you said, Angel, you kind of knew what the stuff was going to hit the fan when you saw the wife and the child in the back.
Like,
so,
oh, shit.
I mean, they're not
Kevin
going
Owens
to.
In the,
Kevin Owens humped him up, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do it twice in front of his wife.
They're
and
telling Rocky 3. They're literally telling Rocky 3.
Yeah, that story
with Chad Gable being Apollo Creed.
Yes.
Yeah,
and now
they're ripping off the Rocky 3 thing.
That was what Rocky was promised, or Rocky promised Apollo Creed a title shot, or our fight if he trained him. That's exactly what he's doing right.
It's happening next week on Raw. Sami Zayn and Gable for the Intercontinental. He needs that IC belt, Gable, especially if you want to elevate him.
But then it makes me even more mad that they beat Gunther.
Why would
like, why the fuck did you do that?
If Sami Zayn is just there to transition the belt to Gable, why not just have Gable in the match?
So mad.
Well, and they and like I said, they said that they're they're just elevating Gunther. Well, okay, but
after losing, like
they're gonna put him in the heavyweight belt after
he just lost his title.
I agree with Tony. Raw right now.
He's Raw. Okay, so I mean, he can go after.
I agree with
Damien.
I agree with Tony too.
Yeah, Sammy was already
Damien Priest. Damian Priest is the world champion, and Jey Uso #1 contender, by the way, for that world title. So we'll get to that.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now you have Gunther lose, but you're not going to elevate him. No, you have to elevate him now.
I think they're waiting for the draft to tell any real long-term stories.
Okay, well, I mean, and that's the other thing. The draft, and people are probably going to move. People who are on Raw
everybody's
go to
moving
SmackDown,
around,
and people on SmackDown are probably going to go to Raw. So
unless there was a feud already bleeding into this, they're not going to start any long-term stories until the draft. So
I wouldn't be surprised if
Uso's obviously going to lose. I mean,
he's there to get beat by Damian Priest.
He doesn't deserve that elevation yet.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's the #1 contender.
It was more so due to the storytelling between
McIntyre and Punk. Yeah, so we'll get to that.
We're elevating Jay. Jay was just the lucky guy in that.
Well, and I have some things to say about Raw because was it SmackDown? Somebody came out in SmackDown and is trying to be leader. So when we get to SmackDown, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Solo's trying to take over the bloodline, but
Yeah,
all right,
it's like
and
a mafia split. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's
mafia power.
they
going on.
exactly how
they
I would put it.
I
they
think we're gonna
literally
get more
doing
family members into
yeah.
this.
They're doing the NWO Black and White versus the NWO Wolfpack.
Red and black, yeah.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a bloodline civil war, like
Yeah.
throughout the year.
And I'm
But
here
we
for
get
that.
we'll get to the main event, which was the tag match: Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Of course, The Rock, dominated the match and he beat Cody Rhodes. So
This
that's
went on
was
for
it.
so long.
It did.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my only gripe, okay, it's just a gripe. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
know it was
I
awesome.
enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the match, but it was
I
long.
enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
It's
I
just my
enjoyed it.
only gripe was that, guys, come on. The Attitude Era was 20 years ago, almost 30 years ago.
Almost 30. Yeah.
Going through announce tables, going through the barricades.
Oh
I mean,
my
come
god,
on, guys.
the announce table spot was so overdone.
We are
Yeah,
so
and
over
this
the
night-
announce table.
Rematch,
It's
they were
always the
throwing the
Spanish announce
promoters
table,
Right.
off
and it's
the
like,
net.
okay,
It's a
overdone.
it's a rib at this point. It's always
Yeah.
Spanish announce table
Right.
they
It was
play with.
ridiculous
Put
how
to the
many
table.
times they did the announce table spot. And now they have two of them. They got the Spanish announce booth, so they got two announce tables.
Yeah, they got
Right
two.
now.
It was always,
So-
but in the 90s, it was always the Spanish announce
Yeah,
table.
that was the rib.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
that was the big
their
rib.
table.
That it was
Mhm.
always the
It's
Spanish
not a
announce table.
table.
We need real glass. I mean, yeah,
No, that
AW
would
would
just be
agree with you.
stupid.
AW would agree with you though.
Yeah,
It was a good match.
it was a
Rocky-
great match. That was my little gripe.
Rocky, of course, Rocky dominated the match, and the finish was kind of weird because Roman had him beat with the spear, and The Rock did this, and Roman looked like a kind of a chump when he tagged in Rock, and he did his rock bottom people's elbow and just pinned Cody, no
Well,
problem.
they stopped didn't someone stop the people's elbow?
The first
I
time,
think
yeah,
did
Cody
Cody?
stopped it,
Yeah.
and then Cody got booed a little bit because they want to see the people's
And
elbow.
I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, you do know that the or the people's elbow was just for something. It was a rib for the
It
Undertaker.
was a rib on the Undertaker. You're trying to make
Yeah,
him
it was
laugh.
So
yeah.
over though. I remember
Yeah.
how
It did get
ridiculous
so
it was
over.
that
Yes,
got over.
when The Rock was a pure baby face. Yes, but now
Every-
you never can tell. Sometimes it gets cheered, sometimes it gets booed. But what really got me was if you count, you're fired. I was thinking, screw you, I'm gonna count. Fire me, I don't care.
Yeah,
They almost had me. They almost had me by this much when the Roman did the spear and hit the Rock, and I'm
Right.
like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
they were
Yeah,
teasing
that
something there.
Right.
It didn't
I
happen.
think it's
though.
gonna be
When I
Rock
saw
versus
that,
Roman.
that
Rock
was
versus
crazy.
Roman. Yeah.
I was
Uh-huh.
like, here we go.
Yeah, and they're gonna do that bloodline civil war. I mean, Solo's
Yeah.
already trying to take over the bloodline, and Roman's gone, and he's intimidating Paul Heyman into accepting him as new tribal chief. So
Yeah, is it going to be the tribal chief or the final boss? I mean, that's good storytelling there. No
Yeah.
doubt about that. I
And you
just didn't
can't
like the
guess the
barricade and the
ending,
rock
it's
bottom through the
automatically
announce
true.
table. Those were my only gripes. Otherwise, it was good.
And I was watching so I got to watch the Roman documentary that Paul Heyman produced.
yeah, I watched
So
that too.
yeah, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So my understanding, so Jay was the first one from all of them to be the wrestler.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Roman
he got
was
in
still
the bid.
trying to be a football player.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
the Usos got into business first, and then
Right.
later it was Roman after a couple of years because
Very
when he
similar
had
to
his
The Rock.
cancer. Yeah, when he's diagnosed with his cancer, his football career is pretty much over.
Mm.
Roman
They
Reigns
released
had
it-
cancer. Had cancer?
Leukemia. No, he still had
Yeah.
leukemia.
Yeah,
He's still on
It's still in
medication
his
for it.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's
Oh, I didn't
working all
know
these
that.
years with leukemia. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my
Yeah,
It's
gosh.
pretty wild when you look at the guy and he doesn't look like
Yeah.
someone who
Yeah.
got cancer.
no,
No.
Not at all.
He-
I mean, he's
Well-
built. There's no doubt about that. That
Mhm.
he's definitely built like a wrestler. But I mean, enough with the title.
well, he did drop it. We'll get
He's
to
not-
night two, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's not Hogan. Okay, nobody's Hogan other than Hogan. I mean, let's just put it in perspective. I mean, I didn't like Hogan, but you got to admit it was Hogan, right?
Yeah,
He did
was
the brother,
one that took the
brother.
business
He
to the
was-
next level.
Right.
He did the brother. He was charismatic as all hell. He had the 8 to
It-
12-minute match. He would
Yeah.
pose, do this, and then he would walk
Yeah.
away. You know?
And
People loved
He
it.
could still sell pay-per-views.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
it
You
reminds
were
me
gonna
of
get
the
a
whole,
good wrestling
Lex
match.
Express. The Lex Luger tried to be
But
Hogan
Luger-
2.0.
Luger wasn't anywhere near charismatic as Hogan was, so he couldn't pull it
True.
off.
No, Luger was
True.
a
At
natural
all.
heel.
Oh.
You know,
And I'd like to think, but I mean, no offense to Roman Reigns, did he even show up half the time? I mean, I know a champion that he would defend the. I think Jim and
He-
Brian were talking about this, that he only defended the title 30 times out of 365 days.
I don't really mind that.
He
Really?
defended it.
Champ.
I mean,
Shit,
because
He
Brad,
defended it.
If you don't need to have him on TV every week, don't. You know,
He
Make
defended it 60, 70 times in 3.5 years. So
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I like the way. I mean, I don't.
I don't mind
I'm
that
sorry.
either.
I'm
but
used to,
He could have been
because
there a
even
little
Hogan
more,
was on certain times.
but I didn't mind Roman not being there
I
every
don't-
week because it made it more special when he was
yeah,
there.
when he
And
showed
got
up, it was
ratings.
Yeah.
special.
I
But-
guess how can we
WWE
like
has
you if
enough
you won't
guys
go
that
away?
don't have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
You know,
Now he'll go away and be gone
overexpose
for
him,
months and months.
like when MJF was world champ, like he was so overexposed, and he
Yeah,
started to not become a draw anymore.
Tony overexposed
He had him
MJF.
in like 5 different
Oh, yeah.
storylines.
It was awful.
Yeah, as a
Yeah,
baby.
cancer sucks. That's definitely true. Luckily, Roman's still with us and looks healthy.
He looks great.
Didn't cancer kill OJ? I know OJ died. I don't know what it was.
I think it was cancer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I mean, no offense, but
I
OJ
don't.
and
I'm not that broken up about his death. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
No,
OJ
no.
and Roman Reigns are two different people. I'm sure Roman Reigns is a nicer person.
yeah,
in
that
real
was
life.
I guess because OJ was in the news recently, that was probably on his mind.
Yeah.
Hmm.
the least amount of title defenses, but dude's leukemia had worked. I mean, I don't know because leukemia didn't have any title defenses, or was because it was just his contract because he agreed to a new contract where he had less dates.
Well, he gave up his title. Remember, he had a title run and he gave up his title because of it.
Yeah, that was 2018 when the cancer
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah,
So he had
I
to
mean,
go
I wish
back
him
and-
all the best because I don't want to see. I don't like Roman Reigns, but I wouldn't want to see that on anybody. So please, Roman Reigns, get rid of it and beat it.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to night 2. The first match was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Drew
This
McIntyre.
was my
This was a
favorite
good
thing
match.
of the whole weekend.
This
the
was
way
a
all
good
this
match.
played out. This was
With
my
CM
favorite
Punk
thing
as the
by
guest
far.
commentator, in the
It
beginning.
was a good match, and then Damian Priest came out on top.
I loved the way this all
Well,
played
that's
out. with
because-
CM
Yes.
Punk.
That was
getting the
because of
last
CM
laugh
Punk
on
continued that
Drew
story.
Right.
Loved it. That's how you do
CM
Yes.
Punk beat up.
storytelling.
And
Mhm.
that, yes,
Right.
that is good storytelling, getting Punk involved, and especially for the controversy that's been going on with the whole the backstage thing with Jack Perry and AEW.
We'll
I
get
think
to
this
that
is
for
definitely
sure.
going to get
Mhm.
a lot of CM Punk people energized that he's
looking
finally
forward
back
to-
where he needs to be.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that feud, that match.
Mhm.
And I
because-
want to
Did-
talk about that later when we get into that about
Yeah.
AEW's
Absolutely,
overall,
absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
overall
definitely get to that. I'm trying to get
Overall, I
to
think
contribution.
they did
WrestleMania.
some really good stuff here, and
feel like
and I don't
everybody
usually
thinks
say
we're
that.
all like
I know.
AEW haters, and that's definitely not the case. Like we are
Yeah,
well aware of wrestling being better because AEW's around, despite their many downfalls. Despite their
I
many
didn't think so.
downfalls.
I didn't
But
think
just
so
having
either. But
two wrestling promotions,
yeah,
they
that's
made
what we
WWE
need.
better. Like you can't really deny that. WWE sucked like in 2019.
It
Oh,
did,
God,
yeah.
it
They were
was the
doing really
worst.
shitty stuff.
Vince was
And
booking
now,
that shit.
like Triple H being in charge, basically doing what AEW is trying to do 10 times better.
Which is
Yeah, I
ironic
think
because
this is a new Triple H era, so I think good things are going to come. Just wait and see.
it's
We'll call the
ironic
vet guy.
because
It seems
it's
like we're
ironic
getting
because
babyface heel storytelling.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Which is what
ironic
wrestling
Which
because
is what we're used to.
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
AEW promised a sports-based presentation, and they also promised great storytelling, which they did neither.
that's
They became WWE light when Vince is running it. That's how bad they are right now.
storytelling in AEW is so poor and predictable. And
Well, and here's the kicker. They got rid of all those wrestlers now because of budget cuts. Remember those? So
Mhm.
Yeah,
WWE was on the front of doing that, but Now with Triple
Did
H,
you hear
or
Tony Khan
Paul.
said it's because he had to pay for a song to cost?
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah.
paid.
I
This
heard
is
that.
ridiculous. And I agree with Tony, by the way. Triple H and Shawn Michaels helped WWE, but this
Come
is
on.
ridiculous. The Death Before Dishonor show, which was on Friday night, WrestleMania week. The main event was Mark Briscoe versus somebody for the Ring of Honor title, and it was Eddie Kingston, wasn't it? He's the champion.
I think so.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, Tony Khan, as like a surprise, paid for his favorite song, his entrance at Ring of Honor, the original Ring of Honor, and paid $100,000 for the song. I'm like, it's just
For
Mark
Ring of
Briscoe.
Honor.
Yeah, for
Wasn't
Ring
it
of
for
Honor show.
AEW?
Yeah,
I didn't know
no,
what
it was Ring
song
of
it
Honor.
was. I just heard the
It
press
was
clip.
fucking, what was the song? I forget right now, but it was some famous song that Mark Briscoe came out to, and the original Ring of Honor. And
It wasn't even for fucking AEW.
no, it was for the Ring of
Just for
Honor
like
pay-per-view.
500
Yeah.
people.
And Tony Khan
Pretty much.
put the belt on him. Put a
They need to
meaningless
stop
world
getting those
title on
big
him.
rings or arenas because they're
$100,000.
not doing much. They're not putting butts
Man,
in
I wonder
seats.
how
So.
much Tony Khan is paying, like, for, Carry On My Wayward Son and, the
Yeah, I think
Orange
that's
Cassidy song.
Yeah,
Those
they
are,
must be paying out the ass.
yeah, that's,
Yeah,
must
pay
be
the
paying out
wrestlers,
the
not
ass.
don't. Yeah, pay
Yes,
the wrestlers, not the
Tony's right.
stupid copyrights.
Yeah, it pay the money to the wrestlers because even though Mark Briscoe looks like a meth head, but I won't get into that too much. If you look at his picture, it looks like a meth head.
Well,
right.
ever since Jay
I
was
think
in
that
that
look is
car
his
accident,
gimmick, that to look.
I know it's his
No.
gimmick, but he looks
Like-
like a meth head. Like he wouldn't be in WWE with that look. I'll tell you that much.
well,
But
and
maybe he
because
doesn't
of
belong
Jay,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, he
Because of
died
his, he passed away.
in a
Yeah,
car
it
in
would
accident.
be
that car
nice to see
accident.
them as a tag team in AEW. That
Yeah, that
because Jim
They were
Cornette
a tag
And I
loves
think
those
they were
guys.
exploiting them. Yes.
yeah. Jim
But I
Cornette
still don't
was
think
never
that Mark
seen
would
them
look like
wrestle as a
that.
tag team. I never got to see any of those matches that they had.
Jim
at
Cornette was
FTR.
pushing them as a the top tag team in Ring of Honor when he was booking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they said something on social media, which was
Yeah, that's
Rhodes had-
ridiculous. That was like
that was
that was
ridiculous.
bull
Yeah.
crap.
Like-
And all of a sudden now they weren't on wrestling anymore.
I mean,
so.
yeah, we got.
And then I always said
we
that
got
I was
tape of
sad when
the
that shit
Bucks
happened,
saying
man.
worse
Yeah.
things.
I mean,
So-
social media wasn't around when our wrestlers were around. So I mean,
Oh God, I mean, they would have been canceled a million times over.
And I'm
Can you
glad.
Most
I'm
of those
glad
guys.
it wasn't because they probably
Yeah,
would.
they would have been canceled a million times over.
yeah, exactly.
All right. So the next match was the Philadelphia Street Fight. I didn't really pay
Philadelphia
attention
Smoke
to this
Break.
match. Yeah, it was
I
the
did not watch
Pride.
it.
I didn't even know they had. I didn't know they had the stable name. The Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam Razor with Paul Ellering and the chick, whatever her name is.
Scarlet.
Right.
Paul
Both those,
Ellering.
Yeah.
both those
That
names
name,
suck.
I
don't
can't
like
believe
either
Paul
of those
Ellering
guys.
is still around.
I know
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Ellering's part of this group.
Is he part of
Right.
like? Isn't he like 100 years old? No offense.
Well, he was the manager for the Road Warriors for
Yeah, he
years.
was
Yes,
Road
he
Warriors
was back
manager.
in AWA days.
But I
Yeah.
think he was
Yeah,
like
W-
20 years old back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that idea. Maybe putting Bianca and Jay with them, but they're going to be a tag team because on Raw, or SmackDown,
Yeah.
we saw that.
They're going to be our
They-
new tag team.
Yeah,
Champions.
It's a
Yeah,
big deal. They
so-
put Bobby with every,
Black
it's gonna sound
wrestler.
funny, right? I was about to say that. Any
Yeah, but it's
black
true.
stable, everything. Bobby,
They put
and
it
it's
with
not-
Bobby. Yeah,
right? And it's not like Bobby. Due respect, I like Bobby's look, but he doesn't have that Ron Simmons look, like kind of.
no, he's kind of clean cut. Ron Simmons was more looked like
He
a
looks like
badass. He would
Okay.
drink, he would smoke.
He could
smokes
do
it.
it. If I see Bobby do this, I'm like, yeah.
I just remember Ron Simmons with the headgear. I'm like, what's with the headgear?
Oh, when he
God,
was
yeah.
Farouk.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
early-
That's when he first came in
Right.
WWF.
When Sonny
like,
was his manager.
And
Take off the
Vince-
headgear.
And Vince gave him, "You're Farouk, pal. Here's the helmet. Make you look good."
That was so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
All right,
Or,
Bubba
yeah,
Ray. I forgot to mention Bubba Ray Dudley, special referee for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He got a lot of.
Yeah, he got a
I
lot of.
didn't even
He got a
care.
good pop because he was in Philadelphia. So
Yeah,
Alright,
he was
so-
ECW.
yeah, the next match was LA Knight versus AJ Styles, which was a good
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
It was a
And
good
who
match.
won? LA Knight.
LA
right?
Knight defeated
Yeah,
AJ
yeah,
Styles.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rightfully so.
which he should have. It was the right
Yeah.
decision.
He's on the move. I think they're going to somewhat elevate him, but I still think he's middle card at best right now.
I think he beats Logan Paul for the
Oh, definitely.
title in Cleveland.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, he's the one that
I
should
mean-
beat Logan Paul, probably at SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, AJ, I think he's kind of over and done with.
Well,
No,
AJ,
he's got a title match, doesn't he? With Cody?
no, not officially.
Oh.
Because we'll get to SmackDown, but that's not officially. He still has to face LA Knight at next week's SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think his time is come and gone.
Well,
That's
he's
just my
there to-
opinion.
He's probably gonna put over Cody in France in the end of the
Right.
month
Right.
or in May. So he's not gonna actually beat Cody, but he's. And the next match was the U.S. title 3-way: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I really liked this match. It was
For
really
a triple
good.
threat match, this was good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really good for a triple threat. Well, AJ's done. AJ's on
Yeah,
his way
see,
out, Tony.
I'm not
I mean,
disrespecting him.
not
I'm just
disrespecting
saying
him.
his
There's really
time
nothing
has
more
come
for
and
AJ
gone.
to do in this. You know?
Yeah,
And
he's
already
was
thinking
so-
about retirement.
Probably
And I'm a
10
AJ
years
guy.
ago.
He's a guy
Yeah.
that goes
And
away
I love
and comes
AJ.
back for a month.
He
and-
was back
Right.
in the early 2000s. I remember
Yeah, he
AJ
was-
just
he
as
was
I
in-
stopped watching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like in TNA.
Yeah, he will lose to Cody. Yes, he will. I mean, he's there to put over Cody, make him look good and strong in that match, which he will. I mean, he's still one of the best, even though he's almost retiring. But yeah, but I really like this triple threat. It was well done. And
I
Logan
really
Paul
didn't care
retained.
about it.
Well, Logan Paul retained as he should have. I mean, there's no reason for him to drop the belt there. But he
You know,
retained.
Logan works, man. Logan, he works. He put in work.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really come.
He's
What's
crazy.
amazing-
He's really
He's
stepped up his
natural
game.
with it.
What's amazing, he's only had 14, 15 matches, and he's
Right.
He's
working
a
like that.
natural, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
But he's
Yeah.
that
And I don't
that
like him
heel
as
that
a
everyone
person
wants
at
to
all, but
hate.
Yes.
Girls,
You have to. You gotta respect
girls
the
want to be
game.
with him, and guys
Yeah.
hate him because he's whatever. But I mean, he looks good. He's doing good things.
Mhm.
I can see him elevated, definitely.
He when he had Roman Reigns in his second match, he faced Roman Reigns for the world title. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
crap, he's good.
Yeah,
It's only his
that
second
was wild.
fucking match when they put him in that spot.
And
But
this
it was
from a lady who only watches old wrestling because I just need a palate cleanser. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. The
Logan Paul
modern
would be-
wrestling mostly
Logan
But
sucks.
Paul
But there's
AJ,
some
would
good
or
things.
AJ, geez, Logan Paul,
Yeah.
he's doing good things. I can see good things happening for
He
him.
brings a lot of outside publicity.
Yes.
Which is
And then
what
look,
all
he,
he
and,
wants.
and Prime,
Always
they had
welcome.
the Prime thing, his company, whatever. So
Oh,
it's
the
all
Prime logo.
right in both.
The
I think,
original
mhm.
the original logo was terrible. I mean, the one they introduced on SmackDown, it was terrible.
Yeah.
The one they did at WrestleMania was actually good. It wasn't noticeable, which it's okay if it's there, but it's not noticeable. It was just a black outline. It said
Yeah.
Prime, which is fine.
Yeah.
And the
if
only
you-
reason I'm singing the praises of Logan Paul is because he kind of impressed me, even though I wasn't much for the Elimination Chamber. He's
Thanks,
still
Black
kind
Ace.
of he still kind of impressed me. I was kind of like, oh boy, wow.
Yeah, he's impressive.
Way
Yeah.
better than he has
Yeah.
any business being.
Yeah.
Right.
And let's get to this match real quick. Io Sky versus Bailey for the women's title. I didn't pay attention to this match too
It was
much.
pretty
I
good.
didn't either,
I
but
mean,
Jim Cornette
yeah.
said,
Alright.
his wife
good.
Stacy was watching it and she really liked Bailey. She
Yeah,
really
Bayley
liked that
for
match,
over.
and she really liked.
By
what
this
they did
point,
in
I
there.
was kind of hammered at this point. So I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
So, but it was. I heard it was a good match, so I'm not really gonna comment too much on it.
Oh, we got a drunk angel here.
Yeah, at that point I was. Yeah.
You suck,
So-
Cody.
How about-
All right, so let's get to the main event, which was Roman Reigns against Cody for the world title,
Ooh.
WWE Championship. I mean,
And
This
everybody
match-
thought Stone Cold was going to come out.
Well,
yeah,
he was
yes,
supposed
and
to.
There was
and
something
Greg did
about
too.
money. They couldn't agree on money.
I don't
They
That's
couldn't
what,
agree on.
I don't
It
believe
was
that.
a money issue, according to everybody.
It wa-
I
I
read.
bet it was
according
a
to everybody
Rock
on
issue.
X, it was a money issue.
I bet it was the Rock issue, not wanting to take the stunner.
Mm.
I could.
I
I
don't
could
think
But
those
be.
he's
guys
done
like
so
each
many
other.
times before.
but
I don't
He
think those
took the-
guys like each other.
But
Yeah.
he took the choke slam for Undertaker, so
I don't.
he.
I think it's a Stone Cold thing. I think it's kind of personal with him. I think they have a
Yeah.
rivalry.
I mean,
This match-
I wasn't much for John
20+
Cena,
years.
especially after that thing at the Emmys or whatever.
The Academy Awards. He came out naked.
I was like, oh come on, John, really? No offense, but nobody wants to see you naked.
yeah,
Um,
but this match reminded me of a movie. I mean, it was
it was
like a
exactly what
movie.
we all asked for. And
Yeah, it was like like Avengers Endgame.
story.
Roman
To me,
Cody
it's
came
Yeah.
out
right.
with the mask and looked like a superhero. His
And I
wife
was
came with him.
Yeah, and I honestly
It-
compared this to the Stone Cold WrestleMania 15 when he
When he,
overcame over
Mhm.
all the odds. I actually compared it to the Stone Cold thing, and I was telling my man, I said, this reminds me of the whole WrestleMania 15 Austin getting the belt back, and then the whole higher power thing happened with him. So I
This,
mean, the right person won, but
Mhm.
my only gripe
Yeah.
is, guys, why do you have to have 3 finishers or do the finishers multiple
That
times?
finisher
Either do
sucks.
it once and nobody
I
kicks
love,
out, or
I loved.
don't
Well,
have
the
finishers.
thing is, they've already established that you can kick out of that finisher if you only do it one time.
Right. So
So
why have
Yeah.
finishers?
he kind of booked himself into him having to do
Yeah,
it 3
Cody.
times every time now
Right.
because
Cody's
even
Right.
buried his
Roman
own
said this
finish.
move sucks.
Yes, I was gonna
Yeah,
get
I
to
You
mean,
that.
ain't beating
then
nobody
do
with this
another,
move.
then get a better
Yeah,
finisher.
Yeah,
I
I don't
can
like that.
count on my
It
hand
looks
how
like it
many
hurts
times,
Cody more than it hurts the
or
opponent.
what is it? I can count on my hand how many people kicked out of the perfect plex, and that's only if Kurt allowed you to. So I mean, it's one
Mhm.
of those things.
Finishers aren't
Yeah, I mean,
what they used
Macho
to be.
Man, when he hit that elbow,
Yeah,
you were
it
done.
was over.
When
Yeah.
Hogan
Over.
did the leg drop, you were done.
Mhm.
I think they've booked themselves into this corner.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's my only gripe.
Cody buried his
Sorry.
own
Yeah, I
finish.
think a
It was
lot of
his
people
fault.
don't like.
Otherwise, it was a great match. I love to see the Undertaker. Even though I wasn't much for the Undertaker. I wasn't much for the Rock either. I don't
I
think he's relevant anymore, but that's just me.
Compared
I
to the
lo-
guys that we got now, though, it's nice to see them. They're
Yeah, I
still
Yeah, it
better
was
love
than
nice to
everything
see
we got
them.
now.
And then, like I said, the good man or the right man won. He
Yeah.
finished his
Yeah.
story. I almost cried when he hugged his mom. I was like,
yeah. It was
Yeah, the whole
an emotional
moment.
moment.
Yeah, his mom was
and all I
adorable.
kept
You
thinking
see
was,
that,
wherever
so.
Dusty is, and he's looking down on his son, he is smiling. You
Yeah.
did your dad proud there,
Yeah,
son.
he did. It was a great match,
It was
and
a great
it was
match.
it was a movie. It was
Right.
WWE's like Scorsese film or
Right.
Francis Ford Coppola film or a Steven Spielberg film.
Right.
Triple H is like, top this, Tony. You can't
And he
top
called
this.
out Triple H, and Triple H and him hugged. That was
Yeah.
actually, I
He
thought,
called
I
out
was
Bruce
like,
Pritchard too. I love
Bruce,
that.
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
he called out Bruce Pritchard
Bruce
too, making
Pritchard.
him
Oh
Bruce
mad.
my.
Pritchard.
I
Yes.
know that pissed off a lot
I
of
can't
people, but I'm a
imagine
Bruce
Bruce
Yeah.
Pritchard
without
fan.
the
Yeah.
red face
Right.
paint.
Mhm.
Yeah, for
And
the
then
But
the
love.
no,
whole
Bruce is okay.
and the whole hug with Michael Cole and then Samantha Irvin doing the call.
They were all. Samantha was
Yeah.
emotional. It was like
Oh yeah.
she
She
barely
was.
could.
I like when he had her announce him twice on Raw. I know we're gonna get to
Yeah,
that, but
we'll get to Raw.
damn it, Cody, you did your dad proud, and I'm damn proud
Good
of you.
moment.
And so is Dusty wherever he is. Wherever he is, he's going.
It's a
It's
great
hard
match.
times. I can't do the accent, but it's
Right.
hard times.
And then
And my son
Dustin
did it.
was in the rafters somewhere
Yeah,
watching it
Dustin
Ricky
live.
Yeah,
was
I
Starks.
wish
there,
he would have
and
came
Ricky
out, but he's
Starks.
AEW
Yeah.
property. So
And I was like, Tony, really, Tony couldn't say, okay,
Right.
Dustin, be in the ring. It's your
yeah, go
family.
be
It's
with
just
your
God
brother
forbid
at
you
Yeah,
this
it's
get
his
really
moment.
wonderful
publicity for a
moment.
change.
Instead, it's like
He
Tony.
hugged and
Instead,
kissed
he was in the
Mama
rafters.
and kissed Brandy. I'm sorry, guys, I lost it. I'm a chick, I know,
Yeah,
but
it
it was
was
an
emotional.
emotional
That
No, I
was
mean
a
I
moment.
good
think a lot of
yeah.
people cried during
Oh
that moment.
What's
yeah.
funny
It was
I
only
at
wasn't
the
because of
a
end?
Randy
Cody
and
fan. I
Elizabeth
was
getting
kind of
back together that I cried
Yeah,
during that too.
at the end, after the match was over, you had Michael Cole and Corey Graves and
yeah.
Pat McAfee, all of them just pushing the words professional wrestling
Right.
This
over
is
and over and
professional
over
Cool.
again.
wrestling.
And
Me
it
too.
was
I
like,
was like, yeah, let's go.
I was annoyed
And
at
he
first.
finished his story.
I was annoyed with that until I realized Triple H is retraining the audience
they're
to say
changing.
professional
Yeah, they
wrestling,
gotta.
That's
not
right.
sports
Yeah.
entertainment.
Because
That's why they keep repeating it.
right, because Vince didn't even want to hear the word wrestler. And
No,
I'm like,
wrestling was
why?
not
They
allowed.
are
Did y'all
wrestlers. They wrestle in a wrestling ring.
did y'all see the story where they're gonna make the stage smaller so they can fit more people in
Yeah.
the audience?
Yes,
I
I
love
did
Yes,
that
see that.
because I
yeah.
I
miss
think
that
that's
look.
awesome. And
Yeah,
I
kudos to
love the
Triple H for
way
doing that.
the set up looked when they were in Puerto Rico. and when as soon as they came out, they
yeah,
were just
yeah.
surrounded by fans. I love that.
Yeah,
look.
Just
that
surrounded by
that's
fans. That's how they did it in the territories. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
they literally you had
I
that small of
welcome
a
that
thing,
change
it
by
was an
Triple H
entranceway.
wholeheartedly.
right?
So I'm
Yeah,
glad.
And
to see
that's
that.
why you also had to run. The heels had to run out real
Yeah, it was
fast.
great.
Yeah, it's like,
Like
they
when
were
Cornette
they
would
were
come
gonna
out
I
get
mean, because
killed.
here
that's back in the day when they
90s.
actually
Yeah.
believed wrestling was real, and you had to move your ass.
Yeah,
Jesse
They-
Ventura said that him and Adrian would have to go out in the ambulance. Now that's called
Yeah.
heat, baby.
yeah.
Mm.
They had to find a way out of
Yeah,
the
get more
building
heat,
without
make it
dying.
smaller so you can get more fans. I mean, WWE is so hot right now. They're
Yeah.
doing what they were doing in the 90s. I can see
They're-
them filling up arenas, putting asses in seats. That's what
They've
it's all
had
about.
19 straight sellouts.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
let me
Hotter
bring
than
this
ever.
up. And I'll bring this up. So I was on night one, I was playing I was in my Xbox with
Yeah.
my other friends, and
Uh-huh.
one of them is a non-wrestling fan. So he got on the Peacock, but he knows The Rock, he knows
Yeah.
that. And let me tell you something, this dude was like, "Yo, Rock, go get him, Brock." He's I guess he's marking for The Rock. But it just
Yeah.
to tell
This
you,
brought back a lot of people.
Rock brought back a lot
you
of
know,
people to wrestling.
Hey,
I had
listen,
some of my friends texting me too, like,
Yeah.
what am I hearing?
I mean, I came back because of Cody. I will watch it because of Cody because I really loved his dad, and I'm just like,
He's
damn
like,
it, okay, I give it to Cody.
the only thing that
Second
annoys me.
generation.
Cody's good for what he is. I respect
Yeah.
what he brings to the business. I just don't think his shtick is for me. But I
Okay,
understand
that's fine.
him,
We'll get to Raw,
and I
but
get that
yeah,
he brings a lot
now,
of money in.
But I mean,
it-
he's like his dad in a lot of sense. I could see him being as big as
He's
Dusty
like
was.
he's like if you had an AI version of Dusty and plugged it into a robot.
Very
Look,
funny.
Cody.
All right, I'll give you that. I will give
Babyface
you
robot
that.
Man, Greg.
5000.
I like, come on. I like
So phony, man. That's
I like
great.
Cody.
He'll get better, okay? He'll get better
I
as
mean,
the
like I
things
Yeah,
just,
progress.
wrestling-
like I said, he needed to win. As much
yeah,
as
he
I
needed to win.
liked Roman as champ more, I understood that Cody needed to win that match.
He needed that win.
I think
and
we
that
were
he
talking about
sells
that
a lot
on
of
X.
tickets, and he's
Yeah.
good. The
You
fans
know, he
love, the
sold-
kids love him. Kids make
When-
their parents buy shit.
Yeah,
When Cody-
the Cody American Nightmare.
It's
Yeah.
your
As soon
perfect
as he won the
babyface
world,
champ.
Mhm.
as soon as he won the
Let's see what
WWE
you're doing.
Championship, Cody sold like $1 million in merch,
Yeah.
according to
That's-
WWE.
Yeah.
That's why you put the belt on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what this business is all about.
I like
Did you
that
guys
skull
see?
thing he has, that mask
Yeah,
skull.
yeah. When he
I
came out, I
love that
love
because
that.
I
Yeah,
collect skulls, not real ones, of course. I don't
Yeah.
go to the
Do you-
graveyard
do
and
you
dig them up,
think-
but
I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but do you think Cody's going to start acting a little more heelish now that he's got the belt?
in fact, he kind of did on SmackDown, and we'll get there. But yeah,
I got that
that's
impression
good.
too.
Yeah.
who do we think will dethrone Cody? That's too soon to even think about. But if I had to
Um,
If I
pick
had to guess,
somebody,
Gunther.
I would
Gunther,
say
yeah.
Gunther or oh boy, that's
LA
a good
Knight.
question.
WWE Rock is gonna probably win the championship, but he should put over Cody.
Yeah,
Give
the
him
Rock
his win
could
back.
win it at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Or I mean, I could Gunther or not Sami
It depends
Zayn.
how Cody does over these
Right.
next 3 or 4 months. I think
that's the key. He has to.
Yeah, I mean, sink or swim. You got the belt
Yeah.
now, sink or swim.
Balls
Yeah.
And that's what he and that's what he wanted. He wanted to be the quarterback. He wanted to be the champ.
Right.
Triple H, like here, you're the quarterback.
See what happens.
Be the, as I would say, it's kind of like Bret Hart. You're the head of the company now. You're the face of the company. So, ride it out as best you can.
If
You're
the storytelling is
over.
good, it should work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as long as he has the good matches and stuff, and AJ Styles is a good first opponent to put him over.
Yeah,
All right, so
Yeah.
AJ Styles,
That's
maybe
easy.
Drew McIntyre. No, he's on the other, isn't he?
well, he
He's
was
got a
on
whole.
Raw,
He's got.
and he has a story with
Yeah,
CM
right,
Punk.
right,
He's
right,
busy.
yeah.
So.
Okay, well, I could maybe Drew in the future, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. There's so much
even-
talent in WWE. Yes, there is.
Yeah,
there's
there's
a
so
ton
much
of talent.
There's so much talent. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we can
mean,
pick half the roster, maybe. Braun
maybe
Breaker,
even
you
Logan
can build him
Paul
up properly.
in a couple of years.
he's not-
Maybe
Yeah,
Logan
maybe
Paul.
even Logan.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I
Raw.
think I 100% think Logan Paul will be the WWE champ at one point in the next 3 years.
We can all
Yeah.
agree sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said,
He's
having him walk around with the belt to all his,
Oh yeah, all his socials. What?
just putting
And
that
especially-
out there, man, like,
Especially if Triple H is willing to have a part-time champion, which he is, because he
which
kept the belt on
definitely
Roman
shows
over a
they
year.
are.
Well, and like I said, they can trade it off. You know, they can spend a feud once the draft is over, obviously.
Yeah, they
But once
need
the
to get
draft is
through that.
over, and have them, do that on and off for. I thought that's what they should have done with Brett and Kurt.
Yeah.
Especially King of the Ring '93, which is coming up soon.
Uh-huh.
I just have to
I love
finish
that
the
pay-per-view.
watch along. Yeah, it was a good one.
Oh,
I just think the wrong man won. No offense.
Even
you can make that case.
I'm searching through Wikipedia, and even they say it's like, oh, it's
Just
like
be
the
careful.
Avengers
They have
Endgame.
misinformation.
No,
Sometimes.
I know. For wrestling though, it's fine, but I'm not. That's not a regular source for me. All right, so now let's get to Raw. Cody's the champion. Triple H comes out.
I
You
really like the hey Samantha, can you do that again?
Yeah,
And
that was
she
a.
just calls him the
Uh-huh.
champion again. I thought that was awesome. I was just
I
like,
like how
oh
I like
damn.
how they're dropping the Universal part from WWE Championship. This called WWE Championship.
Yeah. I mean that's what
And
they all strive for anyway, right?
Right.
yeah,
I just don't like that they have two separate belts. Boys, that's not what it was back in the day. Even when they had a universal belt, the champion could go between Raw and SmackDown. That was the deal.
Roman, they gave both belts to Roman because he was so over at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, Roman
I
kind of
think it
forced
was.
that other belt into existence by
because Triple H was like,
we need a champ, like
our
TV show needs a champion, like
USA.
USA
was
champion go back and forth.
Yeah, the network was complaining because they didn't have their own champion, USA. So it's like, okay, fine, let's create the world heavyweight title.
But the champion would go back and forth. I mean, when Stone Cold was champ,
well, Roman wouldn't go back and forth.
It wasn't Stone Cold. It was either Stone Cold or Chris Jericho. Well, Chris Jericho was the first one. He was the undisputed champion, which was the shits anyway.
Which was absurd.
Have that belt.
We talked about this before, but it was absurd.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but it bears repeating.
To get that.
He beat Steve Austin.
That's my other gripe is they split up the belts. No, boys. That was why the champion went between went through Raw and SmackDown.
He beat Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night. That killed the attitude. To me, that killed the business. When Jericho became champion,
because they never should have elevated him. He was, he wasn't elevated material. He was middle card at best.
Top of the business now, the Lionheart. Okay.
Yeah. And you see where he is now.
Terrible.
Now he's a fat piece of crap who can't wrestle and can't sing.
Wrestle.
And he's on AEW, thinks he's the biggest shit that ever hit the wrestling. I went, dude, come on.
He's a
he needs to go away, but
Tony's eviscerating both right now.
Tony Khan's paying him so much money, he almost feels
and we'll get to AEW, but and what the hell they're doing. But yeah, and then The Rock came out, and The Rock was like, they cut a long promo. Actually, they milked again for like 3 minutes. They stared at each other, did nothing, and then they talked. And
I want to touch your belt, Cody, and I'm like,
that was a callback.
Yeah,
that was a callback. It was
because
but I see what they were trying
Cody
to
had
do.
done it to him. Can I touch your belt, Rock, or something?
Right.
Yeah,
but it was
or can I hold your belt, Rock? And I went,
okay.
Yeah, there was some
like
homoerotic.
The fans were like, "This is awkward."
I was just like, "Okay, boys, enough
you
with
can
the."
hold mine if I can hold yours.
Yours, right? I was like, okay.
That's questionable. That's sus, but okay, a little sus, but all right. Well, I'll deal with it. Then The Rock at the end of the segment was like, "Don't break my heart again," and he gave
don't
him
break
something.
my heart again. I'm like, Jesus, are you having a relationship or are you wrestling? What are we doing, boys?
I think what he was talking about was taking the main event from him.
Yeah, that was what he's referencing because they had an agreement, behind the scenes.
That was a touche. Like, okay, you got one over on me.
Except that Rock, no offense, your time has come.
Yeah, I mean,
you need to put people over. This is not about you anymore, Rock. You were good in the 90s, maybe. I wasn't much for The Rock, but he was a main eventer in the 90s. But I mean, now this is your time to put over guys and get talent over, not just make it about you.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying what The Rock is doing right now.
Yeah, it's
100%.
It's some of the best work he's done, honestly.
It's refreshing. It's bringing an edge. It's bringing an edge back to WWE.
I thought you were going to say it's bringing Edge back. I'm like, no, Adam can stay where he is.
No.
Edge has been...
He was middle card at best, and he wasn't even a main eventer.
He was exposed in AEW.
Cursing and blood back into the picture when we haven't seen that in a long time.
When done right, the cursing really didn't come from The Rock in the 90s. The cursing came from Austin.
It was Austin.
Brought it back. Like, nobody was really cursing.
He brought it back today.
I mean, he even got Cody cursing. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. I want to see Cody
And
curse.
I think when done right, that cursing works in wrestling. And
Yeah,
so
because that
Yeah.
was taboo back in our day. You know, unless
Yeah.
you heard a wrestler was either they had the mic up or like if there was a camera right in front. Because in SummerSlam '93, I know we go over this on my podcast. Kurt Hennig was the best. Changed my mind. We go over Shawn Michaels and Kurt at SummerSlam 1993, and you hear Kurt go, "God damn it!" I'm like, oh. And they left it in there. They left it in there.
It's refreshing at times.
The Rock is definitely a narcissist, Tony.
You hear him go, "God damn it, that hurt!"
He's so much of a narcissist. He can't help himself acting like a babyface on Twitter, sucking his own fucking.
Yeah, that's always weird.
I'm like, dude,
He's a narcissist.
stop this! Like, I get it, doing nice things, like, but you're a heel in my world, so stop acting like a babyface. I don't know. That's just me being picky, but yeah.
I don't think anything else happened on Raw. I don't remember. Raw is pretty much a fast forward.
There were some
show.
NXT debuts.
Oh yeah, Ilya Dragunov debuted and beat Shinsuke Nakamura like in 4 minutes. Yeah. But he, and again, I like him. He should be in the main roster. He should have been the one to beat Gunther, not fucking Sami Zayn. But
I've been okay with that.
And I just want to say really quickly that Jim Cornette, kudos to you, and Brian Last had brought up the fact that they mishandled. There's a lot of people they mishandled, and Joe Hennig is one of them. So it was, Michael McGillicuddy, and then it was Curtis Axel. Didn't really go as far as his dad did. So, I mean, let's hope that they actually use people the way they should be and not let them fall through the cracks like they did with Joe.
There's a lot of talent on WWE, and a lot of them are going to fall through the cracks, unfortunately. Unless Triple H.
We love you, Joe. If you ever want to come back, we love you.
To be fair, if you look at the people that WWE released, a lot of them left to sink or swim have sank.
Yeah.
There's only been a few guys that have been able to get over outside of WWE. So when you look at the people they've gotten rid of, I mean, Swerve's over. Samoa Joe's still over.
I don't know how long Swerve is over because most of those AEW fans like this.
Over in his little world, but yeah, there's not. I mean, they were pretty dead on with a lot of their releases, especially in the women's division.
I don't know how Swerve is over. I mean, most of those guys like the skinny white boys, and somehow the big black guy is over.
And then a lot of times,
like the skinny white guys over there.
One thing I'm glad they didn't do is I'm glad Joe didn't go to AEW because they sure as hell wouldn't have used him, and he would have been crippled for life because that's what they're doing to their freaking roster.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I wouldn't go.
Came over have just.
I've heard Mustafa Ali is having a great run in Japan. I haven't seen any of it because I don't have time to watch it, but I've heard a lot of good things about Mustafa Ali.
Japan is definitely different than AEW.
Yeah,
way different.
A lot safer, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. So Ilya was good as usual. Roxanne Perez, let me just say this: when her music played, it was dead silent in that arena.
No. Well, I didn't recognize it.
I didn't hear anything. I don't know if you guys heard something when you watched.
She's not a heel.
No, she's not a baby face either. She's just she does moves
in between. Yeah.
Yeah, she does moves. She just does good moves in the ring and has no personality whatsoever.
And she's so small, even the good moves don't look believable.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's back to the
I'm looking
tiny ant.
She must be
the
really
little
nice
tiny
Riho.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And she's trained. And she's trained by Booker T too, which is why they're trying to use her.
It almost feels like one big favorite of Booker T.
Yeah, the favorite of Booker T. They're using her. And they're pushing her. She's a women's champion in NXT. I'm like, how did?
Well, get her some meat on them bones, boys, because it's not believable if she's 95
People say
pounds.
That, Tony. She's like an AJ Lee, but she's not connecting like AJ did.
Yeah, AJ was different. I just want to throw that the NXT thing was actually good too.
Stand and Deliver. I forgot about that show. I would have, but I mean,
I'm just throwing it.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes had a fantastic main event, but that's the only thing I remember from that show.
Dijak and Obafemi and
that was good too. That was decent. Yeah, and Dijak showing off lately. He's been good.
Yeah.
But let's see what else.
Gotten a lot better.
So in the main event, it was the fatal four-way to decide number one contender for Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre came out first and called Damian Priest a bondage undertaker. He called him a bondage undertaker.
That reminds me, guys. After he won at WrestleMania, a lot of people, the bisexual Undertaker was trending. I'm like, who cares if Damian Priest is bisexual?
That's what Drew.
That's what Drew McIntyre. He's with CJ Perry right now, all taking pictures.
I was gonna wrestling thing. She's with Rusev's ex-wife or about to be ex-wife. He's been.
I mean, what does him bisexual have to do with any fucking thing whatsoever?
I don't know.
It's just something funny to call somebody. I don't know.
Drew McIntyre read that.
Obviously, anybody really knows if he's bisexual or not. I think they're just trying to.
I mean, if he is great, I mean, who cares? You know, I mean, he looks like a wrestler. He's doing some good stuff. That's why they made him the champ. You know, he had that Money in the Bank, and that was going to expire. I think someone said. I don't remember.
I don't know how that works.
In July, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, he had a year to cash in.
And now he just does it at WrestleMania.
Daniel Garcia and Angelico are wrestling right now on Collision.
Are you watching that? Turn it off.
What do they do?
They're doing this little kick fight where they're both on their backs like little babies, like kicking each other.
The fake kicks that they do?
This shit is so
We'll get to AW in a minute because I definitely
see, that's what I'm talking about.
And we only have an hour left. So.
WWE is doing great stuff. You know, they have a little in there, but I mean they're doing really good stuff. And AEW, I guarantee you, if they don't, I give it maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and I could see AEW folding because they're losing money. They're not doing good work. They're gonna
fold when Papa Khan pulls the plug.
That's the only way they're full. That's
right.
Until then, it's gonna
sorry, Tony.
Keep going.
You got a football team. And they suck too. They haven't won a Super Bowl in years. I don't know. Have the Jaguars ever won a Super Bowl?
Never. Ever. No, ever.
Okay,
so
there you go.
They came, and that was before the Khans bought it. I think.
Yeah.
So that's when they came close.
I think 1 year. Remember when they had Blake Bortles and they almost beat Tom Brady in the playoffs? I think
they were having their run that year.
Team. But that was the closest they came under the Shad Khan era.
But no offense, I attribute to NFL football has just become wrestling. It's the storylines, and this past storyline
unfortunately,
it had to do with Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
no one gives a crap about those two.
That was the big story heading into the Super Bowl.
Right. Was it obvious that Jason Kelsey was one of the guys behind that? The match with the Rey Mysterio match.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
he probably pulled politics. It's just like what the wrestlers do now in WWE when they pull politics. You were saying the only reason why these people are in there is because they're pulling politics in the backstage.
Yeah.
Sammy and Kevin Owens are great politicians.
Sami Zayn.
All right, so then the main event happened, and fucking Drew McIntyre had the match won when CM Punk grabbed his foot, and laughed at him.
I saw that. And I went, oh.
and that's how Jey Uso became number one contender for the world title.
But he was laughing too. He was kind of laughing like,
I got you again twice. And Drew fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. It's great storytelling. I can't wait for that match.
Great babyface heel dynamic.
Chef's kiss from me. And I don't usually do that, but chef's kiss for me.
Yeah, so that's how Jey Uso became.
If you would have told me a year ago that a CM Punk Drew McIntyre would be this good, I would have never believed you. But that's the magic of CM Punk.
I mean, CM Punk, he brings the worst in.
He's the most over person in 3 different companies right now.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, the way CM Punk left the first time, I mean, I can't believe they let him come back. Because wasn't he telling all the stories about WWE the first time he left?
He went on the podcast.
They sued him.
Yeah, they even sued him. Over what he was saying.
So I can believe it. I'm sure Triple H has a big heart, or Paul. I'm sure Paul has a big heart.
Business. That's the difference.
Well, Vince didn't want him
back.
back.
Put that shit aside if they can draw money, and they know that
Vince
they
didn't
can draw
want him
money
back.
with CM Punk. So they were just like, "Fuck it, who cares?"
Yeah, fucking cares. Let's just do this.
It's all fucking bullshit. It's all kayfabe.
We'll tell CM Punk he can do what he wants. He can have creative control, and let's see where this goes. But they're doing good work. I like WWE. They're doing good work again. This is what we expected to see, and let's hope it just keeps going like that. Because if it keeps going like this, I guarantee you, Angel and Greg and if they keep going like this, AEW will be nothing.
Yeah. We ain't good hands.
It'll be an afterthought.
The only reason why AEW came to existence was an anti-Vince thing, because 2019 Raw and SmackDown was so awful.
They don't have
that when AEW popped up, it was like, oh my god, thank God, other wrestling, but anything but Vince's Raw and SmackDown.
But it wasn't like a WCW that could give WWE a run for their money.
No, they were never going to do that. But it was better.
They were both doing shitty stuff,
there was
and everyone was doing shitty stuff.
Period where they maybe could have competed with him when they brought in Danielson and Adam Cole and CM Punk.
And Adam Cole.
CM Punk, definitely. And then they fucked that up.
All three of them. Yeah.
The CM Punk thing, they totally fucked that up.
I mean,
Brian
CM
Danielson
Punk was wrestling Daniel Garcia on Rampage, like, you know what I mean?
And I'm like
2 weeks after he got there.
I'm surprised. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that, CM Punk? You're smarter than that. You don't need to put over Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, and he's a good guy, and he's a top. He was their top drawing star. He put asses in seats.
Yeah,
but they totally fucked it up with CM Punk because of the likes of Omega and the Bucks. Fuck those guys. Those guys couldn't even lace up Kurt Hennig's boots. And yet, they kicked the star out, and Tony Khan didn't kick them out. No, he kicks Punk out.
Yeah. WWE is sports washing Saudi Arabia. Look, I mean, no company's perfect.
Don't Saudi Arabia, don't the people that live there have the right to be able to watch WWE like any other country? I mean, they have fans there. They're people just like
the liberal... The progressive liberal talking point.
You can't blame people that live in that country for like what the royal family does.
Yeah, what the royal family does.
You know what I mean? Like they're just fucking wrestling fans like us.
The political talking point, right now.
Yeah, but
I don't know where to really feel on that. But
are the women allowed to wrestle now? See, that would be my gripe.
They are.
Yeah. At first they did.
Women are allowed to, as long as the women are alled to wrestle. That was my gripe. I was like, what the fuck?
Outrage because they don't like WWE. I don't really think any of them really.
But they have to wear. The women have to wear that Power Ranger suits. They're from here down. They can't show anything. So
well, but it's still they're allowed to do it now. And
they're allowed to wrestle at the shows.
I mean, wasn't like
that
Bayley
was my
on
only
a poster
gripe
there? Becky Lynch on a huge poster there. So, I mean, that's progress right there. So I mean,
WWE is.
I don't beat up WWE for going to Saudi Arabia like a lot of wrestling fans do.
Well, Vince.
That was my only gripe. And they let him do it. So
the women are barely allowed to wrestle. Sammy couldn't even wrestle there. Yeah, but now he wrestled there because they they came to peace.
They're a big Brawl. No
Sammy Muslim? Why wouldn't
they sell out those arenas? And
because they were. Sammy's a different kind of Muslim.
Like a Sunni,
I think he's
Shia
Sunni.
Thing? Are we doing
Yeah, that's what it was. Sunni Shia. Yeah, that's why Sammy couldn't get in the country.
All Muslim.
Different. Come on, Greg, listen to my podcast. I'll have that. Well, no, I want to bring back real quick with CM Punk. I think WWE. I believe they had a segment with Punk backstage, and I think a lot of wrestlers, for the most part, welcome CM Punk. Like, hey,
with open arms,
right? And I saw that Randy Orton thing, right? So
Randy Orton thing I talked about last week.
I think they said Drew McIntyre was the only one that was genuinely upset, and that's why they probably turned this into a story.
Drew McIntyre is sometimes a bitch,
Right.
Get over it, bitch. No, I like Drew. I think he. They said something about he was the only Scottish champion, and I went, okay, what does that have to do with fucking anything? But okay, whatever. But they're doing good work, even with Punk, with McIntyre, with Logan Paul, and I don't know where Kevin Owens fits in there. I think he was just kind of like he was against Austin, and then he was like an Austin protege or something. Like he mimics Austin for some reason. He has like the Stone Cold Stunner or whatever. But,
he uses Austin finish.
But I would be surprised if that they don't sell out, and they sell out every time they go to Saudi, don't they?
Well, yeah.
They put asses in seats, and that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter my gripes. My gripe was just that they wouldn't let women wrestle. That was stupid, I thought.
Yeah. So let's get to SmackDown real quick. And so Cody came out and kind of cut that heel promo when he was talking about how now he's the king, and now you have to dethrone the king in order to to become the champion. That's interesting. There's kind of edge to Cody there, which is interesting. They're like,
but
okay.
I don't think that they're going to boo him. It's kind of like Austin, back in the day. No one wanted to boo Stone Cold. I just don't think anyone wants to boo Cody right now.
No, they're not. I'm just saying it's kind of an edge to his character, which is good. He needs that edge because I'm sick and tired of him crying every 5 seconds, especially on Raw. He started crying again. It's like, I get it. You're the champion, and everything.
I can get into liking Cody's character if he gets a little bit more.
Yeah, as long as he has because it was kind of like a Stone Cold edge. Because everyone expected him to be the cute little baby face, but he was like, "No, fuck you."
Baby face champion.
Yeah. If you have that edge to him, I get it.
John Cena type baby face champion.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of Cena.
Like a 30-year-old man, I don't think that's not for me. And I get that.
If he has a bit of an edge, maybe I can get into it. But
like Stone Cold's edge. Yeah,
I would.
His father had an edge too.
Now, like if I would have been in my late 30s during that, I would have been into Stone Cold. Hell yeah. But,
I was into Stone Cold. I love Stone Cold.
Cody's not for me, but that doesn't mean he can't change that. But
if you get that edge like Austin had back in the 90s, when that whole thing stemmed from the whole Montreal screw job, basically that that McMahon thought he was going to be a babyface, and he turned out to be Mr. McMahon, the evil billionaire. So that's how the Austin McMahon thing came out of.
Was a heel.
He was a heel, but then people
wasn't until the double turn.
At WrestleMania 13.
WrestleMania
13.
And people started cheering him because they saw that edge in him, and then they refused to boo him.
Cheered. I do remember that.
Yeah.
For the double turn.
I see it's like that. I mean, if he can get that edge, Cody can get that edge like that. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite match of all time. If I had to.
By the way, we do next week. We're going to do a deep dive into the Montreal screw job. We haven't Kit Cabello on.
Kit Cabello because it is my birthday. We are trying to get Nick Cruz also. I didn't even know Nick Cruz was a wrestling fan.
I didn't either until you brought it up. And
he posted a Ric Flair thing, and I went, ugh, I hate Ric Flair. Oh, put Kurt Hennig on or something. And I said, well, and then I replied to him and Jay. And Jay said, well, I'm not really a wrestling fan. And
Nick was like,
Nick was like, I'm down. I'm like, I didn't know you were a wrestling fan, Nick.
I was surprised when I saw that. What?
I love Nick Cruz. I love his little things that he comes out with. I love that stuff.
Hopefully he can come on next week too. So
I would love it because it's my birthday. I turned 38, so it's a little birthday bash.
Welcome to the Club 38.
Right, so
I'm not giving away my age.
Well, I think, Greg, you're a little older than us.
I'm 38.
Oh, you are 38. Okay.
Nice.
38 in
August. Look at that.
Yeah, you'll be 38.
Go.
I'll be 39 in October.
That's good. Look at that. Damn. Okay, Greg, it must be the hair because I'm way older.
I still got great hair though. I got the hair of a.
All right. Let's get to the Bloodline.
You can't see mine
Civil
because
War.
of the red. Yeah.
Let's get to the Bloodline Civil War now, which is upcoming.
Solo.
Then the next segment I'm thinking about is Solo and Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso come out. Paul Heyman does his usual.
Roman Reigns?
Who?
Or did Roman Reigns just knock himself out? Was it Roman Reigns laying in the?
Oh, in the
ring.
Solo came in. But I don't think
that Jimmy did.
Oh, they took out Jimmy. I thought they took out Roman Reigns.
Okay, I was like, what? Then Solo.
I got
Solo. Paul Heyman's cutting his promo as usual, and then here comes Solo to interrupt him, and he's like, "Failure is not acceptable."
I'm like, "Well, if Roman Reigns is right there, who are you talking to on the phone?" But it was Jimmy Uso. Okay,
yeah, it was Paul. So, Paul, he's like,
and he takes the phone and he stomps on it.
Yeah, that's later. Paul Heyman is like, he's telling Paul, "Failure is unacceptable. Failure this," and even though I'm like, "You haven't won a match since November, dude."
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible booking by Triple H. He should have put him over a little bit more.
If they,
he did this.
So,
but anyways, they beat up. All of a sudden, he pushes away Paul and looks at Jimmy because he wants accountability. So it's like, then he's like, he hugged Jimmy. It's like, damn, that hug is obviously the hug of death because he's going to turn on him.
I was going to say he was laying out.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, here comes what's his face? Tama Tonga. He debuted beating up Jimmy Uso.
Who I found out is Haku's son.
Haku's son, yeah.
Yes, he's Haku's son.
I was like, I didn't even know he had a son. Holy cow, second generation there. Good.
Yeah, Tama Tonga beat up Jimmy Uso a long time, and it was like, holy shit. I've heard about him. Never seen him wrestle. He's in great shape.
He was in the Indies for a while.
He already called out AEW, so he
said they were like, what was it, a B promotion or a second-rate promotion?
Second-rate promotion. That's correct. That is fact right there.
Sorry, doing a good
truth base.
So he beat the shit out of him, and then he's joining Solo's bloodline, I guess.
So
and,
Solo's gonna really have to step his game up for this to work.
Oh yeah. He because I'm assuming
someone
he's
turned
leading
on Jimmy Uso, right? Because Jimmy Uso said, "I'm the new leader now," and someone turned on Jimmy, not Jimmy, the other one, Jay.
I feel like Paul Heyman is gonna have to kind of be what he was for Roman for Solo for this to work.
Well, yeah,
I feel like Paul's gonna have to side with that faction for this.
Yeah,
I just can't see Solo.
No, Solo's intimidating him to stay, basically.
Yeah, Solo's not good enough on the mic to do this on his own. Be the new tribal chief. So,
but he needs to step up, as Red said.
He does.
Because
he needs
right
to
now
step it up big time.
Yeah, because
this is your moment, bro. This is your moment. Like
they're believing in him because Roman. There's gonna be a bloodline civil war when Roman returns. Yeah. Because the way I would book it is Roman reunites with the Usos and Sami Zayn as a babyface.
Yeah, see, I think so too. I think Paul's gonna stick with Roman. I think it's just as you said.
Paulie isn't a babyface.
I feel like Paulie's gonna have to do the talking for Solo.
Yeah.
For Solo, it could be, but did you guys see the behind the scenes where Roman was hugging Paul E?
Yeah.
After the main event, second night.
Yeah, after he dropped the belt to Paul and Cody. Yeah. So
I don't know I don't know what that was. You just saw them hugging. That's it.
Yeah, the bloodline. So it's an obvious War Games match. So you have Solo's bloodline, which is Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, just signed WWE 2, and has to be somebody else. I don't know who. Versus Roman's bloodline, which was the original bloodline.
It's gonna be The Rock. Do you think The Rock is gonna be in charge of Solo?
Fatu is what's his name's son, right? The other Fatu that used to run around with Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, the Tonga kid, I think that's his son, isn't it?
That is his son. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it is. So that's probably going to be the War Games match, and The Rock's going to have to join Solo's.
He's going to join Solo. Yeah,
I think The Rock's the one making
these calls right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be. He's going to be against Roman.
Yeah, he has that's going to lead to Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the story, and Roman. To me, Roman has to get beat at SummerSlam, probably by Seth Rollins, to end that war, and then Roman loses confidence and he doesn't show up for War Games. So they're beating up on the heels and the baby faces. Yeah, they did War Games the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Oh man,
they've been good. I mean,
they have been good because they've had story behind them.
Right,
so have been
good.
Roman.
When it was in WCW, I thought the greatest War Games was the NWO versus the Four Horsemen, because that's when Kurt turned on Ric Flair. But the fact that they because they bought out WCW, they could take their.
But Triple H likes the war. Vince never used the War Games. When Triple H took over, started using the War Games concept of Survivor Series.
He was using it in NXT.
Yeah, right, I was about to say Saturday. That Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they did buy him out, so they could do War Games or Halloween Havoc. I think they still have Halloween Havoc, don't they?
NXT, they still use that.
Yeah,
concept.
they do.
Halloween Havoc, okay.
Yeah, they use a lot of WCW pay-per-views.
So AEW tried to rip that off once, I think in the early days, but they called it something else. They didn't call it War Games, obviously. Blood and Guts is what it was. Yeah. So then in the main event,
that's coming up too, isn't it? Isn't that like in May?
Yeah, I think so. They have a Dynasty pay per view
and story for it yet.
At the end of the month, I think, which we'll get to AEW. Then number one contenders thing for Cody's title. You have 2 triple threat matches. I think it was. AJ won 1 and LA Knight won 1. So next week it's 1-on-1 to decide number 1
LA
contender.
Knight versus AJ. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna redo that match.
Any takers for AJ?
I don't know how this is going to play out. AJ has to feel like they're going to do some 50-50 booking. I really feel like AJ or LA Knight shouldn't be pinned clean in the middle of the ring, so I hope they find a way. I don't think LA Knight should go lose to Cody either, though. So I don't know. This I didn't really understand.
I wouldn't book LA Knight there because I don't want him losing to Cody. He has to lose to Cody clean if you're going to do that match.
I don't know what they're plan is. I just hope it involves LA Knight getting screwed over and not looking.
He would have to get screwed over there because I don't want to beat him clean either.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And I don't want to. And my concern is always with LA Knight. I mean, he's over. But if he continues to lose on big matches,
well, he won at WrestleMania, which helps him,
which is a good thing. Yeah.
So it's going to be LA Knight versus AJ Styles to determine Cody's first challenger at Backlash France. They're going to France,
Okay, I was going to say, isn't Backlash after WrestleMania usually?
Yeah. So basically, they're fighting for who's going to lose to Cody first. I mean, because he's going to be the champion for a while.
Well, that's why I would take AJ.
Yeah. So that's SmackDown. Now let's get to what everybody wants to talk about, AEW. And what happened last week?
It's the shits.
It is. But I want to get
before we rightfully so tear into AEW. I just want to, and I kind of brought this up earlier. Like Cody Rhodes would not be as over as he is in WWE if he had like come over from like TNA or something. Like that tribalism kind of fed into him returning to WWE, and that's why he's over like the way he is. He wasn't over like that before when he was in WWE, and he rebuilt his character, and he went on a rival promotion, and then he went to the others. And it brought back like Monday Night War vibes. And
if you remember,
I really feel like if AEW wasn't around, Cody wouldn't be a bigger star as he is right now.
No.
And CM Punk
seemed to fall in place. Cody
CM Punk wouldn't be back in WWE.
If it wasn't for the
so I just want to say, like, we're all glad AEW
or
here.
Jack Perry.
Like,
they have made wrestling better, despite everything they're doing to fuck up their own promotion.
Oh, that's garbage.
Just being around has made wrestling better and more entertaining for the fans.
Well, I'd like to just say that it seems like
tear them apart.
Yeah, it just seems like it's kind of like when WCW was about to go under. And how they were portraying and trying to tell stories, but the stories didn't make any fucking sense in the first place. It's kind of like that. And Cody he put his body on the line for AEW. And then look how they treated him. They kicked him out. And it seemed like everything was working out in Cody's favor. So maybe it was, he needed that. But I just think AEW is such the shits that they just didn't know what to do. Kind of like WCW didn't know what to do with Bret Hart.
And Cody's return to WWE was done perfectly, like to build up that suspense. As you knew he was leaving AEW, you knew he had left AEW. Right. You didn't know if he was going to go back to WWE. They kept a good job of keeping all that under wraps. Nobody could confirm or deny. So, like Cody's return to the WWE was a big part in why he's over as well. But I don't think if Cody say AEW didn't exist and Cody was floundering around in the indies still and decided to jump back, I don't think he would have made this big of an impact.
Correct. No, it's just that AEW thinks they're the greatest thing that ever walked in. And Angel and I were talking to one of these idiots, and they were saying, "Oh well, they had the best ratings." I went, "Of the channel that only shows like fucking reruns and movies."
Well,
what the fucking hell are you talking about?
Overall, they're like number 3 on Wednesday nights in prime time, and all cable.
Wasn't Cody part of? Wasn't Cody part of building AEW? Like,
he was a founder. He was a founder member.
Yeah, like he went through
a flaming table.
Yeah,
right. So my thing would be what Greg was saying. Maybe Cody was doing this all on purpose for that, that point that you were saying that is true. I think Cody always wanted to finish the job or finish the story.
Yeah,
I think that's always been a thing. Right. But I think he probably kind of talked some wrestlers. Hey, let's do this promotion. I'll be the number 1 guy for a while. Boom, and then look, the rest is history.
They did.
I mean,
AEW it just seemed to happen like that.
I don't know if he would have been as well received. And I don't know what went on backstage, so I don't know how much that played into it. But he was pretty much pushed out the door.
Yeah, allegedly.
WWE, right. Yeah, they didn't treat him very nice.
I mean, he probably still would have ended up going. But I don't
allegedly,
know. He
had issues. Moment. Allegedly, Cody had issues with the rest of the Elite, even though he's part of the group, which is why he was pushed out of AEW.
I'd like to know the reasoning behind that. conflict.
I don't think Cody ever talked about it.
I know he hasn't. I'm very curious.
But they also pushed out Punk.
And I have a feeling it probably has a lot to do with the same things CM Punk was saying.
With the Elite.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes is a lot more diplomatic about the whole thing.
And
this is what I think, that the elites think that they're the shits, and anyone else they're just going to push out. If you don't like us, hey, we'll just push you out. They did it to CM Punk. They did it to Cody. They do it to a lot of people. And the fact is, they're the shit.
A billionaire, stole his mansion, and just started throwing parties in there for his friend while the billionaire was tied up in the attic.
Yeah.
What the Elite want to do is they want to play with their friends. They want to play with their friends in fake matches for no reason.
They're not serious.
They hijacked this promotion. They've completely hijacked this promotion.
Kenny Omega, the Bucks, they're all EVPs.
And they're all the shit. And
Cody was an EVP too, but he's the only one who took it seriously.
Cody was good.
Yeah.
He's the only one who took it seriously, his EVP job.
Yeah, he's the only one who took it seriously. The rest of these clowns are just the shits, but they think they're $1 million and they think they can wrestle. And hey, guys, stick to Twitch because that's all you're good at. You're not good wrestlers.
Omega admitted he's not a good EVP, so it's like
he's not a good wrestler either. That's what I said.
Yep.
And he should stick to Twitch.
So, now let's get to the CM Punk footage.
Go ahead, no, go for it.
It's mean spirited. It's something Cornette.
I love mean spirited, especially when it comes to Omega.
Cornette.
It's not even negative. I was gonna say you should just stick to diverticulitis, but that's mean.
Woo! And I don't even like Ric Flair.
I mean, I don't want him to anything bad to happen to him, but I do enjoy him being gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
How can we miss you if you don't go away, right? Is that what Jim Cornette says?
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So on Saturday after WrestleMania Night 1, for some reason AEW announced that the Young Bucks are going to air the All-In footage from London for the first time.
They were trying to steal headlines. I mean,
I was looking at that. I'm like, are they really going to do that? Because that would be everybody will laugh at them.
My first thought was,
and even Jim Cornette was like, "They're stupid if they actually do this."
My first thought was Punk must have been lying about something.
That's what I assumed too.
You want to tell your side of the story? We're going to tell our side of the story. I'm like, oh shit!
Right.
Either it was going to be
go down like Punk said it did.
Yeah, even
it did
exactly how Punk said it.
Pretty much.
They literally proved him right, and then they're like, "Oh,
I don't know why
copyrighted. You can't do that.
I don't know why
it's copyrighted." Yeah, because you just literally exposed your dick.
More of a badass, make Jack Perry look like more of a bitch.
Right. You literally exposed your dick. You literally brought your dick out and had your dick in your hands. That's what Jim Cornette would say.
You just said like that, but then he just slapped like that. Boom.
Anyway, he had him in a headlock and he looked like a little bitch. Just like Jim Cornette said, you literally have your dick out in your hands and you look like a fucking idiot.
How long were those two standing there arguing and nobody was like, hey guys, break it up? Everybody just stood there and fucking watched.
It was like 30 seconds, almost a minute.
Even Samoa Joe was right there.
Escalate that situation. Nobody.
Samoa Joe's the one that said, "Hey, CM Punk, let him go."
There were producers standing around. There were agents standing around. Tony Khan was standing around.
Tony Khan should have got up, gone around the table.
Tony Khan, I didn't see him.
His hand, all you see is his hand doing this to make sure the monitor didn't fall over.
So how was his stupid fucking life in danger?
Because it wasn't. That's another thing. He wasn't.
What a little pussy bitch.
That was lawyer talk.
What a pussy bitch.
But CM Punk posted mission accomplished on his Instagram, so I'm pretty sure he's trying to get fired.
Right after it aired, CM Punk put up something, mission accomplished, a Bush thing on Instagram. That's exactly what I wanted.
Right, it proved him right, and literally Tony spent the next week trying to get it off of X, and everyone's like, "Oh, you pussy bitch!"
And who had the article?
Pussy bitch.
And who had the article?
Talk about like immediately realizing you made a mistake and
oh shit, I'm stupid.
Lighting a match in a forest and trying to put it out with a water bottle.
I think talking about Hook, I think Taz tried to get him WWE because
Taz
knows
that dude needs to come to WWE because they are doing shit with him. He looks awful.
They're sticking with Jericho, and Jericho's ruining him, just like he ruins everybody else he works with now.
Yeah, because Jericho's a punk. He's a pussy. He's a bitch. He thinks he's the greatest wrestler ever. He's a fat fucking fuck who just doesn't know how to wrestle.
I wouldn't be surprised if Taz is calling up Bruce Pritchard. Hey, Bruce, take a look at my son. His contract's coming up. Take a look at my son. You could do something with an NXT.
They had plenty of time to do something with Hook.
Yeah,
he was over.
Yeah,
when he finished over.
but I'm like,
Jericho,
he looks like
they just put him with Danhausen
for no reason.
They never tried to even build him up as a legitimate contender.
But I always thought
they don't care.
He looked like an emo Taz, like his son, like emo Taz, that haircut.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen Hook with a girl? Like, for someone that looks like that, he should have chicks around him all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, he should be a character with chicks around him all the time.
Kind of like a Ric Flair or a Rick Rude kind of thing.
I don't think Taz can work anymore, Tony. He has a bad
women
neck.
Find him attractive, so have him either be a heel. It's like, walking around all these women like the Godfather or something, or
but also put some meat on the bones.
Develop that character. Do something with him.
Yeah,
give this guy something. Put some meat on the bones too.
Punk, like you have something there. Like you could do something with Hook, but they don't.
Talking about Jungle Jackoff. They did the New Japan did a show in Chicago. I think it was just a few days ago.
Yeah, my clip got taken down.
And New Jack. How said New Jack?
They were chanting.
Jungle Jackoff came out with CM Punk's logo on his back.
Oh, jeez, come on.
That's the second person who's using CM Punk to get over.
Yeah,
I mean, like CM Punk said, I don't got to put another guy's name on, a shirt to sell it, and that's Jack Perry and McIntyre are both capitalizing on
Jungle Jackoff sold
ways, but they're both capitalizing on.
He moved merch for the first time ever with the Scapegoat T-shirt. And
sold out.
Because of CM Punk. That's the only reason why he sold. Yeah, it's not because you're actually over.
They sold all 20 of them.
Right, I was about to say they only made 5 of them.
Yeah, they sold all 20 of the shirts. And it was Pro Wrestling Tees selling them, not AEW shop. So, I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous. AEW should be selling those shirts.
So, once again, there was no plan in place to actually make any money off this.
AEW should be selling those shirts. Why the hell is Pro Wrestling Tees doing it? I mean, why is Tony allowing
Colt Cabana made the money off CM Punk.
Why is he allowing that? It should be an AEWshop.com and everybody should be buying from him.
Nobody cares about making money in that. I'm pretty sure that's why they hired that guy. To try to make money. To try to somehow make money. But they they got a lot of loose ends to tie up.
Halfway to that match, the fans were like, "You got choked out," and they kept cheating.
Dave Meltzer said they were saying "fuck CM Punk."
That's bullshit.
CM Punk is gonna go, "Oh, you bastard!" He's laughing all the way in the bank.
Dynamite, he was trying to say, "Oh, they weren't chanting for CM Punk. They were saying fuck CM Punk."
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but
they were chanting for his name.
And I was like, Dave, there's cell phone footage of what happened.
Punk's laughing all the way to the bank, baby.
There was no fuck. There was a few fans going, and then the majority chanting CM Punk.
CM Punk. He's a star.
Immediately trying to
too late. You should talk to Tony Khan about that.
AEW has this problem with stop pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining outside. Like Tony Khan goes on Twitter, "Oh, we got a 28% boost in the rating. This was a success." No, it wasn't. You got 50,000 more people to tune in. That might have just been a fucking error. And then, that's. And
every time the Bucks come on, a whole bunch of people leave.
We'll see.
I just wanted to see
if the number goes up next week. Then okay, you can say this was a small-term success. But in the long term, all this did was embarrass the company and make another guy in another company even more over with wrestling fans than he already was.
Right.
It makes no sense. And he's
laughing all the way to the bank. CM Punk thinks it's the fucking funniest thing he's ever seen.
Then John Moxley became the IWGP heavyweight champion at the end of the show.
This promotion
he might as well buy New Japan at this point.
All his guys are the champs. I think another AEW guy won a belt.
Someone said that John Moxley should go to WWE. I said, well, he's got to stop kissing men first.
That's never going to happen. They would.
No, he's not going back.
I'm just saying. That's what they were saying on X, and I was just like, well, tell him to stop freaking kissing women or kissing men and saying that he's married to a woman.
He's ruined his character so much that they would never take him back. He's made himself so unserious. They couldn't take him back and make him a serious character with him. He's already done too much damage.
I mean, if you're a straight guy, stop kissing men.
He's a joke.
It's like, what is he doing? It's like, and then he thinks he's judo badass. So it's like, because he can't do a job now in AEW.
He's getting choked out by waiters at Chili's.
He got choked out in 30 seconds in a judo show, in a real judo contest. I'm like, what are you doing? You got choked out.
Embarrassing the business. Just embarrassing the business.
Yeah.
Imagine any New Japan star getting caught, New Japan champion getting choked out on a video. That would never happen. New Japan is falling off.
New Japan is cold as ice
like
right
a
now.
1990s New Japan champ. Like you're
no,
not seeing that.
No,
like,
Antonio
you want to put
Inoki.
the belt on this guy to represent your company. All right.
I guarantee you, Antonio Inoki's turned over in his grave, seeing what they've done with his company.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's putting the belt on Dean Ambrose or John Moxley, whatever he calls himself now. It's a joke. And
just another garbage indie promotion.
That's what it is.
I mean, stop kissing men. It's a little retarded. And then saying, "Oh well, my wife is Renee Moxley Good," as Jim Cornette says.
Renee,
I love that dude.
Oh, to be fair, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu contest. It wasn't just judo, so my mistake there. And he still got choked out in 30 seconds, though. So
yeah,
some guy.
He's not a serious person, and I'm glad they don't take him back because that dude needs to just go away. Stop kissing men and saying you're married to
Tony
a woman.
might as well buy out a New Japan and own it too.
Yeah, he's already made all his guys champ over there. I mean, he's bought all the good ones and put them in AEW. And the
Ring of Honor
he has nothing to do with are champs in New Japan.
Yeah, he might as well buy out New Japan.
Yeah. It's all one big.
And then he complained. And then he complained about Vince taking over all the promotions in the 80s. I'm like, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're doing the same fucking thing. Shut up, and yours sucks. At least Vince had a plan and a vision.
And Vince gambled with what little money he had left. He
lost and WrestleMania. And if that was a flop, we wouldn't be talking about it. But I mean, you have to take a chance.
Going into that show ever in his life.
But Tony Khan is never, not even close to Vince McMahon.
If Tony Khan would be bankrupt, if AEW couldn't get their ratings up, I think there'd be a little more incentive. There's no incentive in AEW to do anything. Because it's all guaranteed contracts.
It's shitty wrestling, shitty storytelling. Everything's the shit.
And Tony always to get more money from Dad. It's like, oh, Daddy, give me a couple $100 million.
And the other thing is, the people who can sell and put asses in seats, they get rid of them.
The elite.
Well, that's not going to help you, fucking idiots.
They've chased them. They're always going to have their 700,000 strong.
Yeah. And I saw that CM Punk thing with Jake Paul here. That was cool.
Now, half of them don't tune in on Friday or Saturday. For whatever
well, no
reason,
offense, but their fans need to learn how to argue and stop being personal about stuff.
Yeah, no, they'll just call you isms.
Defend it.
Yeah,
but don't
just
talk
call
about
you isms.
If
you don't like
this one dude.
Yeah.
This one dude's called Steph an anti-gay or an anti.
Yes, and I was saying anti-gay slurs. I went saying I don't. Yeah, he's like, you said I don't care that you suck dick. I said, how is that a slur? I don't give a fuck if you suck dick. Go ahead, go for it. I love.
What are we talking about?
that guy that was arguing with Steph last night.
Did you guys see that little thread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like apparently saying that I don't care that you're gay is now a gay slur.
Wow.
In someone's mind.
That's why homophobia isn't even a thing anymore because they devalued it to that.
Yeah, he called me a homophobe.
Remember when you had to
homophobe?
Yeah, he's like, you must have read my profile because I said, dude, I didn't read anything.
Homophobe, like now you just
stupid.
Now you just not have to like.
He tried to say, "Oh, I'm autistic," gay wrestler. And I said, my son is on the spectrum. You idiot! What does autism have to do with AEW and the fact that it's the shits?
And I told him you shouldn't.
And he kept projecting his shit. He's like, obviously, this person doesn't know what projecting is. Yeah, he doesn't know what it is, though. He's like, how am I projecting? I'm like, you literally
people don't know when they're doing it.
Yeah.
No, it's usually like a psychological thing.
They lack the self-awareness to know that they're literally spilling the beans on themselves every time they lose it. Something that small.
Yeah.
And insignificant.
And then he's like, well, and I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
Come on, Tony. I mean, she don't give off homophobia vibes.
I don't care.
Let's just be honestly. Nobody likes to see two guys kiss. That's not homophobic to say that.
No, I don't like it either. Honestly, it's like
not something anybody. I don't even think gay men want to see that. Like, it's not. I don't even like seeing guys and girls kiss in public. But you ratchet it up a notch when it's two guys. No, it's just not what people want to see.
I don't.
It's not homophobic to think that.
That's all I said was, I don't care if you suck dick.
It's homophobic to go up and punch two guys kissing. That's homophobic.
Yeah, that's.
It's not homophobic to be like that.
Say I hate gays. That. They should all die. That is a anti.
That's what homophobia used to mean.
That's not what I said.
For this generation, bastardized every word in the dictionary
for everything.
Right. And that's not what I said. What I said was
we've
I
gone
don't care
off topic, but
I don't care.
Yeah, we're the cool kids here.
These words don't mean anything anymore. And
yeah, that's right.
Are a prime example of it.
But yeah, but if you wanted to,
if you want to come on, Tony, I'll be later on because we have to wrap up in a few minutes. But we'll let you. Yeah, it's like half an hour before I have to go. But yeah, I mean, if you want to come on, it has to be another show because we're about to wrap up here in a few minutes. But
yeah, we gotta get back to these words actually meaning something and like actually doing something to deserve that title of homophobic like that.
I mean, it doesn't affect me at all. I don't care if you eat pussy or suck dick. I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I don't care either.
He's calling me a guy too. He's like, "You're such a guy." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure I'm a girl." Last time I checked.
Who knows?
Legit. Hey. I'm a legit.
You can be whatever you want.
So
you can do whatever you can fancy, whatever tickles your taint. Isn't that what Jim Cornette says? Whatever tickles your taint.
You know what's funny? So I'm in New York. So I'm in New York. So New York, we have like 30,000 pronouns. So
yeah, I
usually do.
Shit coming out of
so I do. Right. So I do like a little rip on the people on the left. Where I would say, hey, I'm a girl now. So they look at me like,
you make them play by their own rules.
Right. Hey, that's what you guys told me. Hey,
you make them play by their own, and then you find the mirror in the ridiculousness of it all.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, but there's certain things I don't
agree. A troll. That's what you are. You're a troll.
Yeah.
But it's for a cause.
Trolling the trolls.
It's an educational troll.
Right.
Because you're just like, come on, this is what you're doing, guys. Like,
but everybody assumes because I have Kurt, a guy as a picture on my ex that I'm automatically a guy. Yeah. Well, if I'm gay for Kurt, that would be.
Well, then we got a lot of anime girls in the community.
Yeah, a
lot of anime cartoon girls in the community.
Yeah, well, I like anime, but I wouldn't put it in like I would just put a picture of me.
I'm not creative enough to think of anything else to put other than my picture. So it's like,
I'm old school. That's what Kurt Hennig was the best podcast.
You didn't use like any. You just this is me.
And in my bio, it does say I'm female. I'm a female fan of Kurt Hennig, legit. But
you probably get up like 100 more followers if you switched Kurt Hennig to just a picture of yourself. Just because the IWG is so thirsty for a woman.
I don't picture well. Sorry.
I don't think it's. Are you like, saying it's a girl?
Are you saying
one of those girls?
Yeah, that's like a girl.
I think so.
Are you saying that
I heard about you in the wild
to get those fanboys? I'm attractive enough to get those fanboys.
Well, I just think there's just like a lack of women in the IWC, and I think it's a commodity.
Yeah.
Despite how
there is a lack of
anybody is.
Unless you're like that Denise chick who does videos for no reason, but other than that,
Salcedo. She somehow scams all these people into getting a new job at every different.
Yeah, she works for everybody.
I got 4 jobs, thanks. I'll stick with them.
But yeah, she offers nothing. Like
really doesn't.
She really does. She's making it work. Fake it till you make it.
She's like, she's mostly, oh wow, guys, look at this, look at what happened with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
What do you
that's crazy. Think? What do you think? And that's it. I'll see you later. In the comments section.
Yeah, she's useless.
She offers really nothing.
I like your little snippets, Angel. You're just so quiet, so calm. I'm just like, no, I'm yelling. No, I love it, Angel. I watch those little clips all the time.
Yeah, I try my best to watch some of his clips. Wasn't
I saw the
you, Angel?
CM Punk footage. That was good.
The one where CM Punk defeated Jack Perry that we saw.
Yeah, I put that up.
I watched it twice. I was like,
I put it up, and
I was like, wow.
Did they copyright it yet?
Yeah,
did they take it down?
No, not yet. No, not yet. I haven't got a copyright thing yet.
Oh, good.
I thought about taking it down. I thought about taking it down when they started copyrighting it.
He's on Coke binge right now. He's copyright striking New Japan shit. He copyright strike Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, yes.
Will Ospreay copyright his strikes
from Tony. Yeah.
Ostrich.
So Tony, they're on one right now.
They're on one. Yeah, talking about Ostrich. I mean, he cut a promo on that AEW show. He was butthurt about what Triple H said about how he didn't like the grind.
Tony Khan told him to go out there and say that. And
allegedly.
Wow.
Well, he's done that.
I wouldn't.
Tony Khan is butthurt. Say that Tony Khan fed her some lines to take shots. So I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's because Tony Khan is butthurt. He's butthurt that he's getting his ass kicked in ratings.
I don't think the Young Bucks wanted to do the fucking CM Punk footage because they knew how it looked too.
Yeah, they knew what was going to happen.
Schiavone probably told Tony Khan this is a bad. I guarantee you,
Tony Schiavone was
Tony Schiavone's like this. He's like this dude.
This is a bad idea. Everybody told him that, and he still did it.
And he still did it.
Paz was like surprised that he went out there and reminded, "Hey, Will, what do you to get them all pumped up? Hey, you remember what Triple H said about you? Maybe you should go out there
and do about it."
And Triple H don't sweat it. That's the thing. No one in WWE gives a shit. They're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, and then he said something to the effect of, "At least he's in the position he is." I can't do a British accent because he's humping on the boss's daughter,
which is ironic. Because
they're married. They have 3 girls.
Because
it makes no sense.
Triple H is laughing all the way to the bank, dude.
And then I posted,
it's like water off a duck's ass.
I posted that meme of Triple H smiling like.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what
because that's like, I did it. And I mean,
wait a minute, Tony.
They are not taking this shit to heart, and AEW is a joke in itself if they think that bothers Triple H.
That whole production was a joke. What was that shit that popped up during the Edge match? It looked like a little mini golf course or something. Were they trying to make fun of Pat McAfee and just fucked it up?
I guess
pretty much. I mean,
the whole thing with Edge, right? They can't even produce.
Or Adam
and
Copeland.
Then they cut Edge's promo off in the middle of it and just cut away to the ceiling.
Yeah, but even Edge was Adam. Even Adam was like bitching about the whole WWE thing, and I'm like, dude, you were middle card at best. You weren't even a main eventer. You and that Christian Cage really fucking sucked. You were the shit.
I'm telling you, Tony Khan probably wrote that shit, man.
Probably.
Yeah, he probably told
Adam Copeland showed up to work. It's like, I got to go out there and do this, Tony. No, that's not going to happen.
Especially because WWE was so good to Adam Copeland.
Paying me a lot of money.
Even if they didn't make him a main eventer, but he wasn't. He was middle card at best.
But he got to work with Undertaker in the main event at WrestleMania.
Somehow he made it to the main card. Somehow he made it to the main event. I'm not really.
It was Paul Heyman.
It was tag team with Christian when I stopped watching the first time.
It was Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman booked him on top on SmackDown when he was the head writer.
I was like, Edge is the champ? What the?
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, and they always been pushing him for a while.
It was Pauline.
Different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coming out of the fans and shit. Edge.
Yeah, Paul Lee pushed Rey Mysterio that time, and Edge, and who else? Chris Benoit, WWE won't say his name again.
And that's the thing that
Eddie
they
Guerrero,
said that
a lot of
Rey Mysterio only became champ because of Eddie Guerrero's passing.
Yeah, he won the Royal Rumble that year.
That's a story, natural story to tell based off of something.
And then
like that happened.
I didn't say I agree with it. I'm just saying that's what they said.
Yeah, the only
reason
reason
be
why
true. I don't know.
The only reason why Ray became the world champion because Randy Orton fucked up again, and did drugs or whatever.
Of course, Randy.
To punish him, they put the belt on Ray and made Randy eat the fall. Randy ate the fall,
Well,
and Ray became champion.
And that's what happens when you fall off the wagon, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Look what they did to Triple H after the whole click thing and what the heck was that called? The final curtain call. Look what they did to Triple H. I mean, Triple H was supposed to win the King of the Ring. Who won the King of the Ring? Austin. So wrestlers have to pay their dues.
Yeah, Ray
they don't have
to
be like their friend. Triple H is not your friend. Triple H is your boss.
Yeah.
And he knows what the hell he's doing because he had to pay those dues.
Yeah, Ray wasn't scheduled to win the world title. The only reason why I won it because Randy Orton fucked up.
Hey, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, that's fine. We have another 10 minutes to talk. So
I just wanted to say real quick about next week. It is my birthday, guys, so it's going to be a birthday batch. We're going to have Kit Cabello. Are we also going to have our wonderful guests here?
I hope so. I mean, more the merrier. I mean,
the more the merrier. And maybe Nick Cruz. We're in the works with him.
Nick, hopefully we can get Nick.
Really good things coming. Like I said, next week is the birthday bash, and we're going to talk about Angel.
The Montreal Screwjob. We're gonna do a deep dive into that next week. We're not gonna talk any modern wrestling next week. That's
everything is old school. We're gonna do and the homework for you guys, and I'll tell Greg when he comes back. The homework is look up on the Dark Side of the Ring.
Happy birthday, Steph.
Thank you. Yes, 420 is my birthday. So we're going to do. I would say your homework is to listen to the Jim Cornette He has an omnibus about the Montreal Screwjob.
Yes,
the Dark Side of the Ring about Montreal Screwjob. Anything. Also, Hitman Wrestling with Shadows had it because they were actually doing a documentary on Brett at the time of the Montreal Screwjob. So
which was like, whoa.
It's like, yeah, they were kind of confused. They're walking around what the fuck are we doing?
I remember that shit like it was yesterday, man.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it more next week. But I was watching live that night. I'm like, what happened? Like literally, what JR said. What happened?
Survivor Series.
Yeah, kind of. The statute of limitations has passed, so we had one of those boxes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So Greg, next week for my birthday bash, we're gonna do the Montreal Screwjob. So some homework for you if you're
gonna come on,
brush up on the Montreal Screwjob. Okay. I was gonna say you could do the omnibus that Jim Cornette did.
Yeah,
or the
I know a lot too,
Ring.
but I need to brush up.
Ran through it all.
Yeah, I saw the Dark Side of Wrestling thing. That was pretty cool.
And we're gonna have everybody here. So these guys and this guy, and we're gonna have Kit Cabello, and we're also hopefully gonna have Nick Cruz on as well.
Oh well, hopefully he can make it. Yeah, I mean,
hopefully he can make it. So
he said he would come on at some point. He didn't really get the date, but hopefully he can come on this next Saturday.
Hobbs out again on Rampage.
Definitely coming back to troll y'all. Okay,
who? Greg? Who?
Hobbs. They're about to job Hobbs out again.
Oh come on!
Oh dude, come on.
Will Hobbs is, he's a star.
At least he's losing
why didn't he just go to WWE? Seriously.
Yeah, he's a fucking star. I mean, his moveset is unique. His look is unique.
Act now.
Yeah, see.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, he took Lex Luger's torture rack?
Yeah, he asked Lex Luger to use the torture rack.
Get out of town. Well, see, that's what they do. They take their stars and they kick them out, or they job them. Or, I mean, like, literally, all the shitty wrestlers are...
Have you noticed the trend in how people in AEW naturally get over? It's from being underutilized so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how FTR got over. That's how Ricky Starks got over. That's how Swerve got over. That's how Samoa Joe... That's how all these guys get over. Organically.
That's WCW
it's by
2.0.
the fans being like, hey, Tony, fucking use this guy right. And
use him right.
And then
you would have he kills him off. To WWE, and now WWE has to step up.
I've noticed a trend. Like that's how a lot of guys get over in AEW, just from being.
He's gonna kill off Swerve next.
I know that's where it's headed. I mean, these guys. You have to realize Tony Khan is not a good booker, just like Jim Cornette said.
No,
he's not good at this.
Terrible at it.
Someone needs to take those books from him and say, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to actually make you a real competitor for the WWE. Otherwise, you're going out of business, Tony.
He needs to go back booking his E-Fed. He's doing his E-Fed 20 years ago.
That's still a lot on anybody's plate to book
shows
good.
I mean, that's why Dusty did it. Dusty was a good booker, though. Flair did it and he sucked. So,
but they only but those guys only had to book a territory with like 20 or 30 reps. You know what I mean? He's booking 3 shows,
right?
All by himself, like that. Like SmackDown and Raw have their own separate booking teams or writing teams.
Yeah, Dusty was early WCW.
Like he's doing all this
really early before Flair, though.
So, there's no way it could be good. You're stretched way too thin for anything to
because
be good.
the booking after that was Hogan and Bishop.
It's like you're turning in your homework assignment. The night or you're doing your homework assignment the night before it was due, and you're just turning something in.
Unfortunately, Tony,
you're just doing anything.
Good. It's not right, but it's due.
I
read
Wednesday. The book. The book was good.
Here's what I'm turning.
There's my
That's
homework.
What it is. He's turning in bad homework.
And know that they didn't read the fucking book.
Will Ospreay, Will Hobbs, and Wardlow needs to go to WWE. Triple H would take them and turn them into big fucking stars.
Superstars. I guarantee you.
I mean, there's a few more that you could.
Triple H is salivating. Ricky Starks, another one should go to WWE.
I sounded like Vince McMahon. I guarantee you, Austin. No, I'm kidding.
Tony needs help, but he
doesn't know. Yeah, it is not a delegate.
I hope these guys wake up and know that Tony Khan is not. He's going
to ruin their careers.
Billionaire playing with like toys,
No one person can book 3 shows good. I don't care who you are.
It's impossible.
Get the ghost of Bill Watt, and nobody's booking 3 shows good.
No, it's not happening.
Bill Watt.
That's too much for any one person.
All right, well, Tony needs to delegate. I don't know how he's going to do it. He never will. That's the thing. He thinks he's Vince McMahon.
He thinks
he could do all this stuff at once.
He's never even. He was just a fan, and the problem is when you're just a fan and not in the business. Kind of like I was telling that guy last night. Look, Jim Cornette's been in the business. We're just fans. We only see one side of it, unless you know someone who was in the business. But unless you're in the business yourself, you're not going to know what the hell you're doing.
I have an uncle in the business. He's like 30, 32, 33.
You lucky shit.
No, lucky. No,
is he doing indies?
Yeah, he's doing indies in Massachusetts.
Wait, you have an uncle that you're older than?
Yeah, because he married my aunt, who's like 55. So.
Yeah, see, but love is love.
Love
is ageless.
That my family.
Right.
Because my man is 66. My man is 66, and I'm 38. So, or I'll be 38.
Love is
ageless.
But yeah, he's the Massachusetts heavyweight champion or something. My mother showed me pictures all the time. Like, we gotta get him on the show. I mean, I just thought of that.
Dude, I would love that, dude.
Yeah, I have to talk to my mom and see whether she can reach out to him or something.
Nice.
That'd be awesome.
Nice. Yeah. One person I'm really trying to get on the show, Bret Hart.
Oh yeah,
I would love to talk to Bret, especially on my show, because I want to hear about all these ribs that Kurt used to do to him.
Yeah, he's in the business, and I'm like, why is he gonna? He's like 33. He's like great shape, and I'm like, maybe younger. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, he's in his like late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, why does he try out for WWE? I don't want him going to AEW. They'll ruin him quicker. He's in great shape.
They'll ruin his body. Yeah.
No. He's in great shape. He has great physique. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I would love to see him in maybe in NXT. Start there and then work your way up.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I got to talk to my mom and see whether she can reach out to him. Maybe I get his information. So we'll see about that. But for now, next week we're talking about the Montreal Screwjob. So we're gonna get Tony. We got to get you on the show at some point. I don't know when. Maybe in a couple weeks, but. But yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about Montreal Screwjob. We're going to deep dive.
I was going to say, can you have all these people on? We'll have.
I think the maximum I can have on is 10 at once.
Awesome. Yeah, so, I think that's how much I can get on too.
The COVID days are back, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
hey. I refuse to lock down, baby.
Yeah, I hated it.
Not doing it. Yeah. But I agree with you because
really had to do it. Texas
love is ageless because my man is 66 and I'll be 38 next Saturday. So.
Nice.
Love is ageless.
Yeah.
Love is love.
But,
my girlfriend's older than me too, so I can't.
Yeah, I mean, my brother, his wife is 10 years older than her or him, and they have my niece will be 18 this year.
See, she tricked me. I didn't know. Like, I thought she was maybe she never had kids, so like she was just she looked like she was like maybe a couple years, but then I found out she got a fucking DUI and I bailed her out and I saw what year she was born. That's how I found out.
Oh, wow.
We were like 4 months into it.
Does she not want kids? Does she not want children?
And I was like, all right. That's fine.
You're 38. You'll be 39 in October, right? So she's 48. So does she not want kids ever?
She just never had them?
No? Okay. No, I was going to say, my man and I are like, well, if it happens, it happens. So if I come on one time and and I announce it,
Well, we all have girlfriends who are older than us, I guess. Tony says the same thing.
I don't have girlfriends.
I like older women.
But you know what I mean.
We have spouses or soon-to-be spouses or whatever.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes left. Anybody else want to, chime in about something real quick before we wrap up, or should we wrap up?
I just want to
say, get everybody, to watch next week, and we'll have our A team plus Kikabello, maybe Nick Cruz. So tune in. Everybody, tell your friends, hit the like button, subscribe.
Yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe,
share this content with everybody all your wrestling fans, and let's boost our numbers.
Please, some of my friends were asking about this, and I was like, they don't really know too much about wrestling, but they're like, I'll give it a try. So my friends might be watching.
Okay, well, we're pretty entertaining, so
I try to be.
But we try to be. So
try to give a good joke once in a while.
I'm pretty sure Kit's definitely confirmed he's coming next Saturday.
Yes, he is confirmed. Yes, he definitely said.
Nick isn't.
The other plans he said they fell through. So Kit Cabello, we love you.
Okay,
he's gonna talk
Nick,
probably.
Nick Cruz isn't confirmed yet, but hopefully we can get him next week.
But hopefully we can get him. We will definitely confirm it on X here as much as we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could get Nick because it's funny. When I came across Nick and CJ, the Revolution Blackout Network, they remind me so much of ECW. They were like, with these extreme songs. And then I'm like, I could resonate with that. I'm just saying.
I like their content.
Right.
Are you talking about Kit or are you talking about Nick?
Nick and
Revolutionary Blackout. Yeah,
because that's how I came across. I came across Angel, then the Kid. I don't know who I came across. Angel
I just saw that he had posted something about Ric Flair, and I was like, "Ew, Nick, come on,
Mr. Perfect is better, right?" Reached out to him.
And then that's when I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know Nick was a wrestling
I didn't know
fan.
either.
And I literally just was like, well, you guys are welcome to come on if you want to, because he was replying to like JB Font. JB Font, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was replying to him, and JB was like, well, I'm not really a wrestling fan. And then I saw I'm down. I'm like, oh,
Nick is down. I'm like, whoa. Right. I was surprised by that.
That was hurt.
Sorry, such a good compare. Yeah, ECW Nick.
On this match.
Yeah, that match.
I hate the forearm shot. Why can't they just fucking throw a work punch, man? Like,
oh no, that's the worst.
Because they can't. This is modern wrestling. Remember, Greg? It's modern wrestling. It's
they do it in WWE too. Some of them,
I know.
In WWE, they're doing it.
I hate it everywhere I see it. Just throw a fucking work punch.
Just throw a
Nobody did that in the 90s.
It's happening more now.
And Greg Valentine actually showed you how that they open their hand a little bit, and that it doesn't hurt as much.
Like that. It's kind of like that.
Towel up and
they don't close their hand all the way. They open it up a little bit, and that it looks more real.
Tony, real quick, that's what I say. Wrestling is like politics. I mean, I have old video on that on my channel.
The point is that, unfortunately, rich people rule the world and want to ration us poors and make us slaves.
Did you guys see they're about to go to World War III apparently with Iran attacking Israel?
Israel attacked Iran.
Civil War last night in the theaters. Are y'all gonna go see?
No, I haven't seen the movie yet.
I saw the trailer. I was like,
maybe I'll see it when it comes out.
The reason why the border is open is because they want all of us poors to fight amongst ourselves, while the rich keep going to the bank.
Right.
More or less.
So the thing is, we have to love our brothers and sisters. Right, and we have to love our brothers and sisters, even though the immigrants are being treated better than us. We all have to come together and rise up and start.
Well, I think that right. I think
Marie Antoinette.
Right, yeah, I think that's the issue. That once if we do rise up, like people are on the same side, they'll use that civil war.
We make those rich people nervous. We'll make them real nervous, and trust me, they'll change their tunes.
But I tell you.
It's amazing if like people just got
Iran just.
But
are we cut off now?
Iran launched and be like, "Fuck those guys!" Like,
real quick, Iran launched missiles and drones at Israel today
in retaliation to the embassy.
Yeah,
so
in the embassy attack.
Now they got their war with Iran,
and now the administration.
They wanted Lebanon and Iran. Well, guess what? Now he just got one.
Biden ran to Washington to meet with his generals and try to figure out what to do.
I feel like we're about to get blackmailed into fighting this war.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're just going to send you to die.
In 2003.
All to die.
No, I mean, like, our
I ain't
going to get blackmailed into fighting this war. Otherwise,
2003.
I mean, they'll just enlist you. They'll just say you have to fight, period. It's like the Ukraine thing.
About, like, our
no. Right. Like they'll vote for Biden.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, we could just easily say no, right? Like, y'all figure it out.
Well, the citizens will say no, but the government will say yes because we have to back Israel. We are Israel's butt buddy,
Which is why the generals getting together trying to figure out how do we do this war? How did we convince the Americans to actually send their children to fight?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I say we send politicians' kids to die first.
Yeah, we don't like both sides. I mean,
there's no good guy to a lot of people in this.
And then I did my last podcast was Operation. Oh my God, Mockingbird, and it is like we back 2.0, 3.0.
All right, I gotta get you back on my show, D, and next week is episode 50 of Angel in the Afternoon. So,
all right,
I'm trying to get multiple people.
I was just going to remind you that you didn't do one yesterday.
I didn't do one the last 2 weeks. I didn't do one the last 2 weeks because last week was WrestleMania.
Well, yeah.
And then this week And then this week I got caught up in the CM Punk thing, and I have nothing.
Okay.
So I was like,
I was gonna say I'm looking for him. I didn't see him.
Yeah. Yeah, so next week's episode 50. I'm trying to get multiple people to come on. Maybe have, shoot the shit. It's a big episode,
Right.
so maybe UD and Steph, you're able to come on, but we'll talk about it. But
talks politics. Let's get it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 4/19, my aunt's birthday, so April 19th is my aunt's birthday.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. But for now, I do have to wrap up. It's 10 o'clock, and we got the UFC 300. Not sure anybody else is watching, but
I'll be watching.
Off to the bar.
Right, well, I'll be watching.
Look at these.
All right, well, I want to thank everyone for watching.
Montreal
Next week,
Screwjob, and my birthday.
Hell yeah.
And Steph's birthday. So see you guys next week on Pro Wrestling Talk,
Bye,
episode
guys.
10.
Thanks
episode
for tuning
10,
in.
by the way.
See y'all next